ready for what promises to be a very entertaining Smackdown. We are over in Lyon, France, and we don't have a preview up, right? WWE have not got a preview up yet, so I'm just going to have to go off my memory because we did look at a bit of the preview in Unseen. So in Unseen, we had a number one contenders tag match. So there was Street Profits taking on Melo, Don't Miz. We've got Sami Zayn in action against Solo Sikoa. That was for the United States Championship. And we also had the women's tag titles being defended. That was Alexa and Charlotte taking on the Secret Harvest, right? John Cena is also on this show. So this is our go-home show. Obviously, we know Clash in Paris this weekend. So Clash in Paris this weekend. I think it's Sunday, isn't it? Like, I haven't had a chance to set the stream up yet, but I believe it's Sunday. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy. It's good, actually, because it means I might be able to get my prediction video done tomorrow. And there was rumours that we could see another match get added today. Wrestling Observer were just rumouring that we could get Randy and Drew getting added. Don't know if that's going to happen or not, but yeah, it could be that gets added to... Oh, no way. What's that? It could be that gets added to the card. Looks like the kid from Brussels. That's. I'm trying to figure out if this is the actual kids or is this just someone that's dressed as the kids. Let's have a little look. So this just caught my eye. The kid from Brussels that Cena took shots at in his first heel promo is attending Smackdown in France. So is that the same kid or is that just a lookalike? I think it might be. I think it probably is the same kid, isn't it? Mate, if that's the same kids, Cena has got to address him, hasn't he? So, there we go. I don't know if that same kid is there, but that is definitely something I want to keep an eye out for. So, there we go. I think they should invite this kid to his, to Cena's retirement. He looks older than I thought, if that is that kid's. Now that I'm seeing him, like, out, and how tall he actually is, he looks a little bit older. So... yeah, don't know. Crazy. I was a bit distracted then when I saw that. I was like, is that kid or is it a lookalike? I tell you what, if that's a lookalike, that's a bit weird, isn't it? I wouldn't want to go to a wrestling show dressed as like an 8-year-old or so. So there we go. Right, James said, yeah, it's Sunday. Yeah, weird, isn't it? It's weird. It's on Sunday. It's really strange. I don't know why we're doing Sundays, but we are, yeah, it's really, really weird. Right, I hope the kid turns heel on Cena and rejects any autograph or selfie. Apparently, we've got news of, because I haven't had a chance to catch up with X yet, WrestleOps are saying that Cody and Brandy have announced the birth of their second daughter. Yeah, I didn't even know that she was pregnant. That was out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, didn't she do the podcast with Cody? She didn't look pregnant. I wasn't aware that she was pregnant or anything like that. It's coming from WrestleOps as well, 400,000. So, okay, congrats. Random, and I don't think I've got anyone else mentioning it. Here, welcome to the worlds. We're in love. Thank God for answered prayers. Cody, Brandy, Libby, and Lani equals love. Wow. Oh, that is random, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Just catching up. I haven't had a chance to see any of this stuff today. Obviously, an earlier start for us than we would usually have. Earlier start than last week as well. Last week, obviously, we were over in... Where was we last week? Where was Smackdown last week? Ireland. Dublin. And but now we're in Lyon, so it's even earlier. So, yeah, still kind of in the process of catching up. But there we go. Crazy. Right, Daze, take fadeaway media if you trust list for Unseen. The guy is scum. Posted a fake AI picture of Roxanne in a suggestive manner. Got a load of deleted when Roxanne... Yeah, I saw. I'm not gonna take him away because I personally I don't think you could tell that it was an AI picture. I'm not gonna try and like defend him, but I don't think he posted it knowing it was an AI picture because like it didn't look like an AI picture. Like she was sat backstage on a. So she was sat backstage. It's a weird picture. Have you seen it? It's really weird. Like, I agree with her. She says that it's weird, and I agree that it's weird. But I don't know that you can tell it's AI. A lot of the comments were like, that's AI. Because it's just really her sat backstage, just sort of like looking down the camera, sort of looking a bit like a boss. And so I think he might have posted it thinking that she looked powerful and like moody, and because that's how it comes across in the picture to me. Like she's kind of her sat backstage, sort of like slightly looking down the camera, looking like I don't give an F kind of a thing. So I'm wondering if he maybe saw that and thought, oh, that's a slightly different vibe that she's giving off. That's a slightly different. That's not the kind of thing Roxanne tends to do, right? And then it's turned out that it's an AI picture. Then it's turned out it's a picture that's been generated. And she's responded going, this is fake and weird. And he's deleted it. So I don't know if he's apologised or not. I think he probably should put an apology out, right? For obviously sharing an image that's done the rounds. It's not an image that's got her naked or anything like that, right? It's not an image that's... it's not even an image that makes her look bad in any way. To me, I saw the image because I heard about it. So I was like, right, let's have a look. Where's this image? Because you know that you'll be able to find it. And so I found the image and I was like, okay. I couldn't tell that was AI. And it's not an image that I thought made her look bad. I thought it was an image that made her look strong, actually. Kind of like looking down the camera, sort of like bad attitude. Not the kind of thing that I've seen her post before. So, yeah, I don't know. I think there might have been a bit of a... misunderstanding there. I don't know. There might have been a bit of a didn't know it was AI because it is a real... It's a weird one, that. It's a weird one. But I did see the controversy. I did see it. Connor said, Daze, who do we have winning tonight? Street Profits or Melo Don't Miz? Don't know. Who... Okay, Wyatt's have got the belts. So are we going to do... Wyatt's against Miz is good, innit? Wyatt's against Miz is good. Wyatt's against Miz or Wyatt's against the Street Profits. Oh, God, you could go either way, couldn't you? If you do Wyatt's Street Profits... Hello. Knocked my microphone. If you do Wyatt's Street Profits, you can sort of do a bit of a heel face thing, because I think the Street Profits are sort of leaning... They have been heels, but I think against the Wyatts, they would lean towards being faces. Wyatt seemed to be leaning towards being heels at the moment. And then in regards to And then in regards to Miz and Melo, they are... What are they? They are, I think, heels, aren't they, at the moment? I think because of the history, you probably go the Miz, don't you? That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out, like, who's the faces, who's the heels. I think it's a bit muddy at the moment. It's a little bit muddy when it comes to who's the faces, who's the heels. So I'll go Melo, don't Miz, because of the Miz's history. Let's put this up. Who do you think wins? Who do you think wins? Street Profits. Melo, don't Miz. Let's get feedback from you guys. See what you lot think. Which way do you think it's going to go? I'm gonna say because of the history with the Miz that it's going to be Melo, don't Miz. But I can see it being a case that the Street Profits get it. I think that Miz and Carmelo are going to turn on each other. I mean, it doesn't seem like this team is going to be together very long, but it's just, will the turn happen this week, or, you know, will there be a bit of a setback like next week? Like, I feel like it's close. Connor said, my predictions tonight: Alexa, Charlotte, Melo, don't Miz. Okay, you've gone Melo, don't Miz. Solo retains against Sami. I went for Profits, says James. Paul said, Daze, you sound hoarse. No, I mean, I'm still in the process of waking up. I mean, I got up not long before we were about to stream, and of course, when you leave things a bit last minute, you know, it is early, so when you leave things a bit last minute, that's why I was like, I encountered technical problems, so I was like, oh, brilliant. So then I was having to like try and fix that, which is why I was like 10 minutes late or so. So yeah, just it'll warm up. I'm in the process. This is probably perfect, actually. My voice not being quite awake and me not being quite awake, because I'm obviously we're doing 2 streams today. So we're going to do this stream. This stream will end, I think, about 9, won't it? Because I think the show starts at 7 UK time. So show will go tonight, and then I'll be back a couple of hours later to do our normal Smackdown stream for our American friends. So I think we're back to normal next week. I think we're done with the tour, and we should be back in America. So I think this is the last two show Smackdown. So yeah, we are doing this, and then we're back later for anyone that's around. Right, Carmelo is going to turn on Miz, says Connor. Feel like they need something on this show. Maybe a heel turn or a title change, says Tom. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they could do with something just to kind of inject some excitement and enthusiasm. I kind of feel like the TV shows have been a bit better, actually, since we went abroad. I thought last week's show in Ireland was not bad. You know, I really enjoyed Cena's promo with Logan. I really enjoyed Becky opening the show. And we kind of did a bit of a conversation around not everything has got to be like long term. Like some moments can just be moments. And I really think Becky opening the first ever live broadcast in Dublin was a moment. And I think that was quite a nice start to the show. It is a shame that the in-ring is just not strong enough at the moment. It is a shame that the in-ring is kind of so underwhelming. But, yeah, there is some nice bits that we are still getting. And then in Birmingham, I felt the same, really. That, again, matches a bit underwhelming, but still some nice moments. Like Roman opening the show and Birmingham kind of serenading him. And, you know, him kind of standing there and allowing them the opportunity. I mean, there's certain people that do that kind of thing on a regular basis. there's certain people that will do that kind of aura farming, but how often do we get Roman Reigns opening the show? I mean, you don't really get that very often these days. So it's one thing to have Jay come down doing his entrance week after week after week. It's another thing to have Seth come down doing his entrance week after week after week. It's another thing to have Paul Heyman come to the ring doing the same shtick, where he kind of presents Braun and Bronson and bigs them up. And do you know what I mean? Like, we see those things quite regular. So, you know, to see them again is a little dull. But I thought that getting Roman opening the show on Monday, something we don't get very often, and him coming down and just being in the ring on his own, whilst the fans are singing his name and chanting OTC and just, you know, he's got a big smile on his face. That one felt a little different to me. That one felt a little fresher because we just don't get it as often. The way that we get Roman is usually he comes running down with just a few minutes to go. So to get like a full-blooded section, a big segment out of Roman was really, really good. So I feel like these shows have been a bit better. I think the general feedback is it's still not great. It's still not where we want it to be, but it is a bit better. And hopefully we can get something else tonight that's also a bit better. Hopefully tonight we can get something that we can get our teeth into. But yeah, I don't know. Go home show in it. Go home show. It's going to be what it's going to be. And we'll have to see kind of what they serve up. Couple of championship matches, though. United States Championship match. Women's Tag Team Championship match. John Cena on the show. So should be okay, honestly. And we're in Lyon. We're in France. So those French fans should be bouncing. Yeah, I'm going in with some optimism. Right, Vertikey said, Daze, do we think the whole that Raja Jackson stuff will maybe put a dent in celebs getting involved in WWE stuff? I know that it is the indies, but still, I hope, because I can't stand celebs getting involved. Sadly, celebs getting involved, I think, is something we need to accept is going to happen. And actually, celebs getting involved is okay. I think there's ways of doing it that works or is more palatable. And then there's ways of doing it that don't work and are less palatable, right? So for me, like, don't worry, we speak about this on a fairly regular basis, and I have my rants, and I'm really not in any mood to rant right now. So I'm not going to rant about anything. But to answer your question, no, I don't think it changes anything. I think that was the indies. I think they chose the wrong person to work with. I think the whole communication was completely wrong. I think that whatever it was that they had planned, because the comments I've made on Raja Jackson are that I think a lot of people speak first and then find information out after. I think there is a lot of people that have used that incident as a way of getting clicks and views and likes, right? And I understand it because, to be honest, that's what makes the world go round. In 2025, clicks, views, likes, engagement. I get it, you know, get them first, worry about everything else after has been some people's approach. And you've seen some really bad takes as well on this topic, which I also wonder if people are saying that just to get attention, right? So, I don't know, it's been really interesting. I think the whole thing has become even bigger than the actual incident. For a number of reasons. I think because, that incident could have happened, but it was bigger because of it being Rampage Jackson's son, yeah? That thing could have happened somewhere else with someone else and it wouldn't have been as big. But because it was Rampage Jackson's son, because of the fact that there was all this backstage footage and you could sort of follow the story, because the lines between shoot and work were blurred, and it was in the world of pro wrestling. So actually, what is too far in a wrestling ring? We know that you can get in and do real punches in UFC, But what about a wrestling ring? It's an interesting world, pro wrestling, isn't it? It tries to make out that it's real, but it's not real. So what happens when something real happens in a wrestling ring? So it really grabs like this casual fan attention as well. It really grabs the attention of people from other sports. It really was the perfect storm with, the son of Rampage Jackson doing something in a grey area that prompted a conversation around what is a shoot, what is a work, how far is too far. You've got the whole kick stream footage that you could go back and look at. And it just became bigger than the actual incident, to be honest. It just kind of snowballed and just kept going, yeah? And my approach has been the police need to investigate, because the police need to know from the very, very beginning what was arranged. Because I don't know how he got there doing his live streaming. I mean, he wasn't just walking past, was he? He wasn't just walking past and thought, oh, I'll go to wrestling tonight and I'll live stream it. So clearly there was some sort of communication in advance where they agreed for him to come in and for him to do his streaming at the show, and likely that he would be part of the show in some way. And then that makes me question what we've seen on his live stream. How much of that was in advance? How much of that was kind of pre-planned? Because what was the original initial conversation? Like, come on down. You can film backstage. We'll do a little something, and then you can get in the ring later, But the bottom line is, clearly, at some point, somewhere, something has gone wrong, and it has resulted in this thing going too far. So, for me, we are dealing with the wrong celebrity. I mean, celebrity is doing some heavy lifting there. I've never heard of him. He's the son of Rampage Jackson. He's got an MMA record of, I think, 0-1. So, I don't know how big he is on Kick. But maybe he's got like a lot of followers on Kick. I'm not sure. But celebrity feels like it's doing a bit of heavy lifting there for me. But in regards to, like, is this going to affect WWE? I mean, they will obviously be aware of the incident. Well, they are aware of the incident because that place was WWE affiliated, and seemingly it isn't anymore. Apparently, they've been losing loads of students as well. They've been unfollowing, unsubscribing from the school. And yeah, they should, because clearly that is such poor judgment. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't fancy the people with that sort of judgment training me on trying to make me the best professional wrestler, right? That I could be. So yeah, I completely understand why people are kind of, not wanting to touch that place with a barge pole. That place is in huge trouble. Because, I mean, it's going to face lawsuits. It's losing students. I mean, the damage to its reputation is just horrific. I mean, that one incident is just... It's like the Titanic's iceberg. I mean, it could bring the promotion down, to be honest. Quite comfortably. It could bring the promotion down. They might have just had their iceberg moment, so... But... they are also this kind of low-level, clearly badly run indie promotion that I don't know what the initial conversations were. I don't know what the communication was, but whatever it was not clear enough. People were not on the same page, and WWE is so far removed from that. WWE are a properly run, properly organised organization that I think know and clearly communicate what they're doing, and they would just never be in that situation. If they're going to bring a celebrity in, then they let that celebrity know everything they want them to do. They communicate to everyone that's going to be in the same match as to what is going to go down, and they make sure that literally everyone is on the same page, everyone is happy, everyone knows what they need to do. And, there's proper experienced professionals that are out there with them. I mean, a lot of that talent, my understanding, a lot of the talent at that KnockX Pro are people learning how to wrestle. So they're not people that I think have got the experience to fix something if something's going wrong, right? I can't believe that the ref did not jump in quicker to stop the punches. I can't believe that the guy, when he was knocked out, got pinned afterwards. Like, he got pinned after. Like, he was like, bang, 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 bang. They got him off. And then one of the guys jumped on and pinned. I've got to think that the guy that pinned him thought this was all part of the show. I think you'll find quite a lot of them are under the impression that this was a work. I think you'll find a lot of them probably didn't understand the severity of this thing, because the communication was horrific. Absolutely horrific. So WWE is so far removed from that it's just not even really relevant to WWE's world. So I think WWE, if they are to take a lesson out of it, it's make sure that you work with the right people, right? Make sure that you've got an understanding as to who these people are, and make sure that your communication is absolutely crystal clear. So there's probably lessons that can be taken, but it's not going to stop celebrities getting involved. That is, I think, a one-way street. I mean, I don't really think celebrities getting involved should stop. I'm not a fan of them getting in the ring personally. I never have been. I think that, what Cardi B did at SummerSlam was great. She was on the adverts. She opened up the show. Brilliant. I know that a lot of people might have been down on her segment. I wouldn't have minded her doing a little something backstage as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm pleased that it didn't turn into her having a match. I'm pleased that she didn't, kind of find herself being interrupted and then she has a match. I just don't need celebrities having matches. I don't watch WWE for that. I watch for the wrestlers having matches. So, yeah, as much as people criticize Cardi B, she's a rare celebrity that came into the wrestling world and then didn't have a match. And I've got respect for that. So, I think that lessons to be learned, but I don't think it's not gonna change wrestlers having matches. Celebrities having matches, unfortunately. Kian, shout out to you. Said almost pass out. Jenna Ortega dressed last night. Kian, I have no idea what that means. Almost pass out. Jenna Ortega dressed last night. What does that mean? Yes, Kian, almost pass out. Jenna Ortega. Am I still asleep? Have I just dreamed that comment? I don't even know what that means. Ricky said, from what I heard, Rampage wants nothing to do with his son until he gets his shiz together and this blows over. And then you've got dumbasses like RVD saying, I've got your back. Yeah, do you know, I watched the RVD podcast because I was like, I don't have a dog in this fight, right? I don't have a dog. I don't know Raj Jackson. I don't know KnockX Pro. I just don't know. I mean, I've looked at the same footage and I've seen the same things you guys have seen. So, on this, I want to, rather than just taking a side like a lot of people do, I want to just get information, really. I just want to know what's happened, because I keep finding new things out. I keep finding out, in my mind, it was Raja Jackson, all the blame was on him. But then when you see he is kind of, before he jumps the railing, saying, they've told me I can throw real punches. They've told me to keep punching until someone breaks it up, right? All of a sudden you go, well, hang on. If he has been told that, then he's not the only one that's to blame here. if someone in the company has said to him, you can throw real punches, just keep punching until someone stops it, well, I mean, all of a sudden, someone else is in big trouble, right? I mean, the idea that you would allow an MMA fighter to throw real punches is pretty wild, isn't it? I mean, when he says that, it might have been when he spoke to that other wrestler. But maybe he confused that with someone that was an official, someone that actually ran the place. Perhaps in his mind that was someone of authority. And so in his mind he could throw real punches. I mean, the communication was just horrible. The other aspect of this, which we didn't touch on, why I think it got blown, not out of proportion, that's probably the wrong thing to say, but was the fact that the whole receipt aspect. A lot of people don't know about receipts. And so that aspect kind of added fuel to the fire as well. So, yeah, I think I wanted to listen to the Rob Van Dam thing because I wanted to understand why he felt that Roger Jackson didn't deserve any heat and blame. And to be honest, it was, I don't know if you watched it, but it was just incoherent mess. It was absolute nonsense. It was nonsense. He was sat there just saying about, he kept saying basic thinkers and all this kind of stuff. He seems to be under the impression that he's operating at a higher intellectual level than a lot of the rest of us. And he kept referring to the average person as just basic thinkers. And then what he went on to say was quite contradictory. So he was kind of saying how he was going to stick up for Raja, but then at times he would say that he wasn't sticking up for Raja. And he just seemed to be a bit all over the road. I think that he put a big message out saying that he'd got Raja's back. Tune into my podcast. I'm going to explain it all, right? And I think that upset a lot of people and it grabbed my attention. So I did tune into his podcast. And then he was all over the road, to be honest. Then you had all sorts of messaging. He wasn't passionately defending Roger throughout the whole thing. There was times where he was saying, I'm not saying Roger's completely innocent here and stuff like that. So then he was starting to kind of backtrack a bit on his initial statements. So, yeah, it was a mess, honestly. The Rob Van Dam thing was a mess. I mean, the truth is, someone could have said to Roger, go in there and throw real punches. But the truth is, he still went in there and did it. You know, he's still the one that has hospitalized the guy. He's still the one that has basically seemingly punched repeatedly an unconscious man. You know, that is assault. So it doesn't matter if someone said you can do it. You're still doing it. I mean, if someone gives you a gun and says you can shoot that man over there, if you do it, that doesn't mean now you don't go to prison. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. This whole story is crazy. And you can understand as to why so many people have sort of jumped on it. But I just keep finding out new aspects to it. I just keep finding out new little bits of information, little things that don't massively change my opinion of anything, but add more context. And I think a lot of those initial videos that went out, they didn't have the full story. They didn't have the full picture. I think it's quite a complicated situation. But yeah, for me, Roger Jackson, of course, deserves whatever is coming his way. Has to take the lion's share of the blame. But it is interesting that I don't think it's all on him. I mean, I think the communication was horrific. The ref was meant to step in where the flip was he. The guy that got knocked out was pinned afterwards. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that's, you know, that the actual promotion has got to take responsibility for. And so it's a dumpster fire, isn't it? Yeah, the whole thing's just a dumpster fire. If they told him to jump off a cliff, he wouldn't. So I don't know why he listened to them, says Tom. Well, to be honest, what I understand, and I don't know if this quote is true, right? but I believe Rampage Jackson has got some kids, a few kids. And I heard a quote that I thought was interesting that, again, just sort of coloured my understanding of this situation, right? So Rampage Jackson said he's got, 3 kids, for example. And he said, I've given 2 of them a bit of money that I've put aside for their college fund. And for Raja, I've put some money aside for bail. Because and this was before the incident. So I think Raja is someone that has anger issues. I think Raja is someone that if he feels slighted or wronged or like disrespected, there's just a red mist. So that's the impression I get. That was a quote that I had heard. Again, it's hard to know if these things are true. I don't see or haven't seen a video of Rampage actually saying that, but it was a quote that someone online was sharing that had been said previous, that his other kids, he'd put some money aside for their college fund, but for Raja, he'd put money aside for bail because Raja had these kind of anger issues. So I think it's one of those where, yeah, he's kind of angry about probably that backstage incident, which is a very weird incident. We're not going to get into the detail on that, right? Because I feel like we've kind of spoke on this subject a bit too long anyway. But I think that whatever it was, it's got to have been that backstage incident. Maybe that got a bit more real than they originally planned. Maybe, he did it and a switch flipped, or perhaps that wasn't even planned. I don't know why Psycho Stu, or whatever his name was, Disco Stu, would think that smacking someone over the head randomly with a can, if it wasn't planned, was a good idea. I have seen Mark Henry coming out saying he deserves everything he gets. If you did that to me, I would snap as well. But there can be no excuse for assault. I mean, assault is illegal. So, obviously if someone does that to you and it wasn't planned, I can understand you being angry. Obviously, then there's a video of an apology, to try and diffuse the situation. But Raja's just the wrong person to do this with. Raja's just gone. I think at that point he's just gone. And so, then of course it doesn't help that maybe if he was able to sit down and think about it and cool down, maybe it could have been diffused. But then you've got the extra element of he was sat there and he had his kick stream live going and they were G'ing him up even more. So he was getting even more animated by what kick the streams were like. Are you going to take that? You're not going to take that, are you, Raja? And they were firing him up as well. So, there's a lot of different aspects to kind of what happened and why it happened. I still don't feel like I've got the full truth. I still don't feel like I've got the full picture. I still feel like there's pieces missing because I really want to know what that promotion said to Raja in advance. I really want to know when they said, come on down, what was said. Was it just come on down, you can stream, and then everything we saw on stream was real? Like, it all just went that way? Or was there a communication of, come on down, we'll do a little summit backstage, right? You come backstage, we'll do a little summit. That'll then allow you to get in the ring later. Like, we'll do a little fun thing in the ring, and we'll get you involved. Like, how much communication was there? I've not seen any word on that yet. I've not seen anything out on that. So it's hard to know how much of this was sort of planned. It's hard to know what went wrong, kind of. I know what it shows on the stream, but, was aspects of that a work or was all of it legit? I still don't know, to be honest. I still don't know. But anyway, our initial conversation is that this is so horrifically badly organized, communicated. It wouldn't affect WWE. James said, Daze, what a complete joke. An indie company called Danger Pro Wrestling has booked Raja Jackson to be on the show. That's a disgrace. Well, That's wild. I mean, it's a disgrace that he is not. I wonder if they. I don't know, man. What the hell is this? I've got it. I've just been tagged in it, actually. I wonder if this was kind of done in advance. Why is he going to all these different indie shows? What's this about? Danger Pro, in a bold move, indie pro wrestling company Danger Pro books now infamous son of Rampage Jackson for an upcoming appearance. Stay tuned for an opponent announcement. I mean, it's wild, isn't it? That is wild. My initial thoughts are, I wonder if they had this booked before he did what he did. And because of, I mean, even with that, you would think you would still cancel. But some of these are just, I mean, look at people online. There's people online that are doing what they can to get views out of this situation. There's people online that are just getting videos out. Just I've seen so many channels doing videos on this thing, right? Because the whole, like, you know, it really was the talk of the town. And so, I mean, I get it. No, I understand. I get why they're doing it. But, you know, is this the kind of wrestling world equivalent of just trying to get views? It probably is, isn't it? If you think about people using this topic to get views, this is the real in-world equivalent where they're booking him to get views, they're booking him to get attention, just like people making the videos on it online. Now, whether they've booked him after or before, I suppose it doesn't massively matter. But, yeah, I mean, they're going to get blasted for that. They're going to get dragged through the mud for that. And so they should. Because this is someone that is... It's different to online, of course. Online, you're talking about it, whereas actually here you are presenting him. So it is slightly different. But, yeah. This whole thing is crazy, honestly. This whole situation is, like, just so messed up. I know the police are investigating, but I am surprised that it's moving as slow as what it is. I would have thought that there would have been, like, some charges that would have been brought by this stage. I mean, honestly, he might not be free to appear. He might not be free to appear. I think we're all expecting him to be going, getting arrested, and all that sort of stuff. We'll have to see. The Raja Jackson situation rumbles along. Johnny said, I can see a full-on indie promotion needing some celebrity clout, but what is the point of celebrity involvement if this is school as well? What's the point of a celebrity involvement if this is a school? What do you mean? If this is a school? Well, they put shows on. Even if they're a school, they're still trying to sell tickets. They're a wrestling school that train people, but I think they do also book wrestlers for their shows, and they obviously try and sell tickets for the shows still. So I think the initial plan was probably, let's get the son of Rampage Jackson, who does streaming online, let's bring him in. That way it'll be good exposure on his stream. It'll give us some credibility because, you know, Rampage Jackson, Raja Jackson, MMA. It'll give us some credibility with that connection. And, you know, we'll obviously reach a new audience like Raja Jackson's. When he live streams, I'm guessing he must get some decent amount of viewers. I mean, I've got to think that he's got some sort of audience. And so, yeah, I don't think they've really thought about it much more than that, to be honest. Right. Eddie said, can anyone tell me what's on SmackDown tonight? Yeah, I can. So we've got Cena on the card. We got Melo, Don't Miz taking on the Street Profits. We have Solo against Sami for the US title. We have Charlotte and Alexa against the Secret Hervis. I believe that's for the tag titles. And then we got Michin against Kiana. So that match has been added as well. So 5 things we've got coming up. And 2 of them, I believe, are title matches. Right, Kenan said, Japanese fans can't understand why Julia is being treated like this. I think it should be recommended more. But what do you think? What do you mean? Treated like what? Treated like what, buds? Kenny said, Stu could not cause great harm with an empty can. Any one of his punches could have caused great harm and did. Raja is dangerous, says Kenny. Ranio said, have you got a blocked nose? No, well, I think I do, actually, a little bit. But I think it's more just a case of still waking up. I probably woke up about an hour and 5 minutes ago, something like that. So, yeah, I probably do have a bit of a blocked nose. Daze, I feel like tomorrow in the Fatal 4-Way there will be a new member that's going to help. WWE wouldn't end his reign this short. Yeah, could get someone new involved. To be honest, though, there's so many moving parts that we absolutely could get someone kind of hitting a finishing move, going for a pin, and then Seth jumps in and steals the win as well. I mean, because there's so many people involved in the match, it could be that Seth is just in the right place at the right time. This match, you don't have to have like an extra person and all that kind of elaborate stuff when you've got so many bodies in there. You could just, the classic way of booking this match is someone hits their finishing move, they're about to win, and Seth comes in and steals the pin. So we could get another person showing themselves that they've joined Seth's group. We absolutely could. There's been theories that that person could even be Karrion Kross. I don't know that that is going to go down that way, but there is some theories doing the rounds that it could be that. But yeah, equally, this match does allow for Seth to steal a victory, for someone else to do a lot of the work, and he gets in and, you know, kind of steals the win and leaves with the belt. I agree. I expect Seth to retain. Maven has got an interesting view on the Raja situation. What is Maven's view? What has Maven said that's interesting? James said, Teddy Long said, if Rikishi was at Nox X Pro, Rikishi would have not let it happen. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Rikishi obviously is a massive, experienced professional. I certainly think that he would have dealt with it better. I mean, another part of the problem is that I don't know if anyone was watching his stream, but I mean, he was saying on the stream, they've said I can hit for real. Now, if someone was watching the stream, I'm sure backstage they could have gone, have we said that? Did you say you could hit for real? Because that's what he's saying to his live stream audience, you know, and he's going to go in and he's been told he's going to keep punching until someone stops him. Is that what this is what he's saying to his live audience right now? I mean, it would be nothing to send someone out there, just tap him on the shoulder, just be like, can I have quick words? Just like, listen, just heard you say this. You can't, just for clarity, you can't use real punches. And like, okay, you can keep punching until such and such is going to come in, but again, they can't be real. And like, you know, there could have been, I feel like there was quite a few opportunities to nip this in the bud, you know. Well, and also the fact that, was there a run through? Was there a rehearsal? I mean, do you know what's pretty crazy is this is and I promise we're going to wrap things up on this topic, yeah? But this is a wrestling school that's training you on how to be a professional wrestler. If he came in and this was not planned in advance, that means that they are having to communicate this on the fly. It means that there was no rehearsal, there was no run through, and they are having to basically do this on the fly, right? And so how great is that? What kind of a look is that for a wrestling school, right? That they're like just going with this and they're just doing this on the fly. This is why, again, I want to get more information on it, because I don't know what was said in advance. I don't know what was planned when he first got brought in. But, I mean, if they did this on the fly, then that just so sucks. Because, I mean, they just completely botched all the communication and everything. So it's one of those where, yeah, maybe this wouldn't happen if Rikishi was there, because Rikishi might be like, have we run through this? Does everyone know the situation? And they might have been like, no, we're just kind of doing it on the fly. And Rikishi might be like, no, we're not doing that. Shut that down. Who knows how he would act and react. I mean, clearly he has got people working there that he trusts and believes in, and they've clearly dropped the ball. So who knows how Rikishi would react. I'd like to think that he would not have allowed it. But, well, it still went down, didn't it? SB Griller said, do you think Cena will apologise to that kid tonight? I don't know if he'll see him. I don't know where the kid's going to be. If it depends. If the kid is in a good seat and can be seen, I mean, maybe he's been invited there by WWE, then I think that would be great. I hope he does. I feel like there needs to be, I need closure on that issue, right? So I hope he does. So I hope he sees him. But I don't know, it depends where the kid's sitting, to be honest. So if the kid's like all the way in the back or whatever, and he wasn't invited there by WWE, Cena just might not see the kids. So we'll have to see where he's sat. Right, there was a few bits that I wanted to go back to, wasn't there? Let's have a look, see where we are. Teddy Long said, oh yeah, we've answered that. Wyatt Six tonight, says Matthew. Eddie said, I've got another question. Is there a place online I can watch Cardiff matches? No. WWE, probably, I don't even know if they do film them, to be honest. But it'll only be fan footage. WWE, if they've got any little clips, they'll put it out on social media, but they'll just be little clips. I mean, these are house shows, so they're not really recorded. I think WWE might always have a camera that's on just in case something happens that they need video of, but it's not like, it might just be one camera, and it might be not for like releasing purposes, more in-house purposes, and so it's a lot of fan footage. So you just gotta look to see if anyone's recorded the full match and then put it up on YouTube or put it up on social media. But there's nowhere I'm aware of that, and certainly nowhere that WWE would put any footage. Isaac said, did you know Cody had a second child? Yeah, I saw at the start of the stream. Yeah, saw at the start of the stream. Crazy. Do we think Cena's last opponent will be Jericho? No. Definitely no. I think Brie Bella will return and cost Nikki for the Intercontinental Championship, starting a feud maybe for WrestlePalooza, says Cody Boy. SB Gorilla said, I just read that Sean Ross Sapp posted the Raja appearance is just a publicity stunt. Oh, by that Danger Wrestling. Got you. Still stupid. I mean, it's getting them spoke about, I suppose, but I mean, I don't know about you. It's not making me want to go to their show. Or like, I don't think more of them now that they've done that. So I don't know. Strikes me as a stupid move. Dawn said, I hope Logan beats Cena at Clash in Paris. Isaac, I did see that news. Do we think Julia can hold the belt until the Tokyo performance? When is the Tokyo performance? I would imagine that it's, if my memory serves me right, it's like October, isn't it? So I think that's like a little couple of months. Yes, I think she can. I don't know if she's going to, but I think Tokyo is not that far away. I think it's the end of the year. So yes, I think she could. If it's December, I can't remember the date of it. If it's December, then that might be a bit more of a push. But I expect her to get past Michin. It feels like Michin is the next opponent. There is Nikki Cross that's sniffing around, though. And that could be a bit of an issue. Nikki Cross, if she sets her sights on that mid-card title, could be a problem. But we'll have to see. I think they, if you was to ask them right now, like, would you like Julia to go into that show as champion? And the answer would be yes. But it's just going to depend on, how these feuds play out time-wise. And she might ultimately just lose it just before, if that Nikki feud gets underway just before. So if I was a betting man, I'll say yes, she'll be at that show with the belt. But don't be surprised if she loses it to Nikki, because I can't see Nikki setting her sights on a championship and failing. I mean, the only thing I can think is that if Nikki just goes a bit too far and gets disqualified. Other than that, I think she should stand a chance of getting it, of winning it. So, yeah, I would think they would want her to go in as champion. Obviously, she'd get a great reaction over in Japan. Alex Bliss Gamer said, Daze, Alexa and Charlotte is now Alba Fire and Chelsea. All right. So that's the change. Wrestle Votes said there would be a change. So looks like Piper is out then for some reason and Chelsea. Well, that's a better match, isn't it? In my opinion, that's a better match. It's always more interesting when Chelsea's involved, so good. Right, Cody Boy said, do we think Alexa could attack Charlotte without anyone knowing? Reuniting with Nikki, who will help Alexa win the tag titles, then Charlotte would attack Alexa at WrestleMania. I don't know, it sounds a little complex. What would be the motive? Why would Alexa attack Charlotte out of nowhere? Alexa attacks Charlotte, but we don't know why. Then she joins up with Nikki and they get the tag titles. I don't know. That it could happen, but what that to me is a bit random because I don't know why we're doing it. There's been no teases between Alexa and Nikki at the moment. I mean, Alexa will go into the Wyatt Six, but does it not make more sense for Charlotte to attack Alexa and Nikki just make the save? That seems more likely than Alexa secretly betraying Charlotte when there's not a need for that at the moment, I think I'd need the why. I'd need to know why. Why are we doing that? At the moment, it feels like Charlotte attacking Alexa, but it doesn't even feel like we're close to that because they're really enjoying each other's company at the moment. So, yeah, I think we would need to dig into tension and tease that and build that, and that's going to take a bit of time. Maybe when they lose the tag titles, I suppose it could come out the blue. It could be that they lose the tag titles and Charlotte just, boom, lays out Alexa completely out the blue. And then I would imagine that Nikki would get involved. So, but to be honest, I think that this pairing has worked really well. I think WWE are probably going to look to milk it for as much as they can get out of it, and they should as well. So it's, if ever you find yourself doing something that works, go with it. Go with it. Get as much out of it as you can. And I think that this pairing really does work. So go with it. Yeah, keep investing in it. So I'm personally not expecting the turn to be like, or whatever's going to happen to be any time soon. I think 2026 Women's Rumble, the winners could be Liv. Everyone is eliminated, waiting for number 30, and Chelsea comes out and wins the whole thing, says Cody Boy. I don't think they'll do that now, because they put that idea in Unreal. And so I don't know that they would do that now, because they've kind of told everyone that idea. And Chelsea was the one that they said they would have come out at 30 winning it as well. So I don't know I think that's an idea that they've kind of already floated and not gone with. I think it'd be a bit weird for them to do it now when it appeared in Unreal. Congrats to Cody and Brandy on the birth of their second child, says James. Astro said, what time does SmackDown start? West Coast local time, France. 45 minutes. Could we see Joe Hendry tonight? Maybe. I don't think there's a need for him. But yeah, he is on the tour. But he is also Scottish. So him being part of the UK tour is not the craziest thing. I'm not sure there's a need for him on the Go Home SmackDown. Hello, Will. Hope you're doing well. There was a good title match on NXT. Do we think SmackDown and other brands will also succeed? A good 2 title match on NXT. 2 title match. What do we mean by that? Do you mean like the show had 2 title matches on it? I mean, I think tonight's show is going to be okay. I think the card looks fine. I think that Charlotte and Alexa work really well together. I think them defending the titles should be an interesting segment. I think Sami Solo United States Championship, that easily could have found its way onto the card in Paris, Clash in Paris. So I think that'll be a good segment. I'm really down for seeing Kiana in action on SmackDown. I'm actually really looking forward to that, because I like Kiana. I kind of liked her work when she was in NXT, and I had a lot of praise for her when I went to the house show last year and I saw Kiana. So I'm down for that segment as well. You can't be down on a John Cena segment. And then, honestly, I think the Street Profits have been the best of the tag teams. So a Street Profits match, I'm also down for. All 5 segments I'm interested in. And I think that helps. When you look at the card and you go, yeah, that's not bad. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I mean, there is going to be a lot of video packages hyping up the show this weekend. You're not going to get anything that seismic because, I mean, all the build for the card is pretty much done. So I'm not expecting anything too seismic. The Cena segment obviously is going to be interesting because now that Cena's a babyface, I think he's trying to maximize his appearances a bit more. So, you know, we actually got a really juicy segment out of Cena last week. I thought what he said to Logan was lovely, brilliant. I loved it. Really enjoyed it. I thought he actually had something to say, rather than when he was a heel and he was just trying to go off on the crowds. And it just wasn't working. You know, he was trying to cook the crowds and it just wasn't working. I mean, there's people in the crowd that just won't boo him. There's people in the crowd that just are not going to turn on John. Like that kid in Belgium who was called Toxic and he just sort of stood there looking a bit awkward in his Cena merch, you know? So he was, John was like, you know, desperately trying. And I feel like we just wasted a lot of John appearances on him trying to do something that was not succeeding. And that was trying to get the crowd to hate him. It was so much more satisfying seeing him going off on Logan Paul. You know, that to me was a lot more entertaining. Or, you know, like him trying to do the pipe bomb. And honestly, I do think a lot of wrestling fans sort of lost their minds in 2025. How there was conversations around people saying, like, who had the better pipe bomb? Was it John Cena or CM Punk? That is insane. People lost their damn minds at times this year. Like, the fact that was even a question that was on social media. What was the better pipe bomb? CM Punk's or John Cena's? But even though it is not industry changing, right, like CM Punk's was, it was still a fun segment. So, I mean, Cena has done some fun bits this year, but just a lot of the stuff he was doing when he was a heel was kind of throwaway, forgettable. My hope is that now that he's a babyface, and now we've only got 10 appearances left, each appearance is being maximized. There is absolutely no reason why we're not getting to see John Cena interact with people backstage. Cena's only got 10 appearances left, so do the in-ring promo, and then why not have him backstage giving advice to some people? Why not have him on camera with some other talent that maybe he's not going to get a chance to wrestle? Why not have him backstage just having a chat with Finn Balor? Do you know what I mean? Like saying to Finn Balor, dude, you're better than this. I so wish I could get in the ring with you. I'm not sure if our paths are going to be able to cross. My time is coming to an end. But I see something in you, Finn. I see it. You've just got to let it go. You've just got to believe in yourself. You've lost that belief in yourself as a solo star, as a single, something like that. Do you know what I mean? Let's maximize the Cena appearances. Doesn't have to only be like, is he wrestling? It could be that we have him sort of dotted throughout the shows a little bit, where he could be speaking to talent that he's just not going to get a chance to wrestle. So it is such a shame, honestly. I know that we talk a lot about this, and I hate being a broken record. I do have to repeat myself, though, because obviously there's different people that join us on different streams. But this Logan match, I mean, I so wish this was Finn Balor. Because I really think that Finn Balor, you know, getting an opportunity to stand in there with John and, you know, have John go off on Balor about wasted potential. You know, you had the world at your feet in 2016 when you was Universal Champion. And okay, you got injured. It happens. But what have you done since then? And, you know, like that I think would be really interesting and might light a fire in Balor and might actually help bring the demon back and all that, you know? Could be a gateway to something, but instead we're faffing around with flipping cringe McCringe. And so we're doing a Logan match instead. And I know that there's people out there that are Logan fans. I mean, there was a clip from the house show, the live event, where Byron went up to a girl and went, who do you want to see win? John Cena, Logan, and she picked Logan, and the crowd were booing. So, and I think someone mentioned earlier in the chat as well that they're rooting for Logan. So I know Logan's got his fans, but yeah, I'm not one of them. And I wish that there was a proper wrestler that was being given this opportunity instead, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And so, but it doesn't mean that we can't use Cena for like some backstage segments and some backstage work and actually, you know, interacting with a few other people on the roster. Stephanie, live at WrestlePalooza. We could get that, says Cody Boy. Rack said, I think Sami's going to win the 2026 Royal Rumble. Daze, Edward, hello. How are you? But loved yesterday. Cheered me up. Yeah, it was good. I do feel that we need one-to-one chat in person again, so I can talk about my love for Cena, Cody, wrestling, boxing, etc. Well, there's not really any spaces to do that other than member streams, to be honest. I mean, I don't know what the future is for the Wrestling Escape pod. It's still going. It's not going to end. But I feel like I would really like, obviously, for it to settle down. I think the Wrestling Escape Pods was really fun yesterday, and I think people enjoyed it. I mean, I was flipping crying as well with just like, you know, it's bonkers, but it can't be that every week, you know. So I need to send Tommy an email and go, listen, I think we need a bit of a structure here. Like, let's get a bit of something in place. Obviously, we know we end with the pictures at the end, but I mean, we had no time. And the fact that it went like an hour and 20 odds, like, it can't be doing that. Like, it needs to be wrapping up after an hour. Pictures need to be getting to them with, say, 15 minutes to go. Like, there needs to be a structure there. So I think I'm going to send Tommy an email just going, how about this? How about we do half an hour? I don't know. I mean, now that he's got the ability to bring someone on, I got no problem with a different community member coming on for 15 minutes on each stream. I love chatting with you guys. I love talking to Edward and Sonny, and obviously Sonny had some technical issues, but it was still lovely getting, you know, an opportunity to get a few comments over, and Sonny to try and read some of her poetry. But obviously there was lag and audio issues and all that sort of stuff, so it didn't quite work out with Sonny, unfortunately. But I think it made the stream better personally. But like, Edward, brilliant, loved it. Talking to Liam, brilliant, loved it. No issues, no complaints, like, loved it. But we definitely need to get like a better structure. So yeah, I think I don't know, half an hour, and then wherever we are with the conversation, at the halfway point, boom, it's 15 minutes. We bring on a community member. Boom, 15 minutes. We do the photos. Boom, we're out of there. And I think someone needs to, because I can't control the stream, so I can't do anything. I am literally just sat talking, and it's Tommy that's, like, you know, the one that can end the stream when it ends. He's the one that can put the sound effects in. He's the one that changes the camera angles that you see and the camera's layout. I ain't got no control. There's nothing I can do. So yeah, maybe there'll be an opportunity there, but you know, I am looking at those Wednesday member streams of, like, trying to find a way of getting something going there as well. So we'll have to see kind of how the dust settles, but let's get through this weekend. Let's get through Clash in Paris, and we'll find where we are after that. Right, Daze, I enjoyed your pain, said William. Seeing you struggle is the best. I know, but at some point, someone's got to throw me a life jacket. You know? I feel like the past 2 weeks on the web, we've been drowning because Tommy's now got control, yeah? And I feel like I have to fight my way through a lot of the streams anyway. You know, when he's talking musicals, and I'm just sat there going, how the hell are we going to make this entertaining? Because I don't give a flip about musicals. You know that. I know that. Tommy knows that. But we still keep going back onto the subject. So I do find myself in need of a life raft, a life jacket, some sort of... I need the Coast Guards on a regular basis. So there's got to be some sort of structure we can bring in where... Do you know what I mean? Here's half an hour for us to talk about the thumbnail... catch up with Tommy, do whatever we need to do, half an hour, then bang, 15 minutes community member, 15 minutes. That seems like a decent starting point to me. That seems like and we're done in we do not need to be going an hour and 20 minutes. It's just like Smackdown, where, you know, you could have lost time and the show would be better. And you could easily have lost 20 minutes out of that show yesterday, and it would have been better. So, but I ain't got control of it. So, you know, it is a runaway train. So, yeah, if you're not watching the Wrestling Escape Pod, well done. You've probably made the right choice. Jank said, Logan is good, but he doesn't build stories well. Every feud is the same about him being an outsider. That's true. I mean, creatively, they don't give him loads to work with, but I mean, him saying about how he cares about this and he's going to do this for real which of the house shows did he appear on? Could anyone tell me which? Was he at Leeds or Manchester? Newcastle? Which of the house shows did he just show up on? So he talks about it's just like Jake. It's no different to Jake. Jake saying that he wants to be a champion and then fights like washed up MMA fighters. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to be a champion, but you are not going down a road that is going to lead you to a championship, right? You are just fighting these washed up MMA fighters that only had limited striking to begin with, beating them, and then, on to the next washed up fighter. I mean, for me, like, Jake has already spoke about wanting to face KSI, which is not going to help him be a world champion. He spoke about fighting in PFL, doing MMA, which is, how does that help him become a boxing champion? So, Jake says one thing and then goes off and does something completely different. And I feel like this is what Logan's doing as well. Logan is saying that he wants to do this, full time and all that sort of stuff. And then it doesn't appear on every episode of Raw or SmackDown. Certainly does not appear on the house shows. And I'm sure he is putting the work in, like at home and behind the scenes. But, I mean, his actions do not marry up with his words. So for me, like, if he's going to come in and just do the odd appearance as he builds to a pay-per-view, it is probably going to be difficult to creatively give him stories that he can get his teeth into, So I agree with you. Creative has been very poor for Logan. Normally it's very thrown together. Normally it's him stepping up to someone or saying something on his podcast that then leads to a match. And it doesn't really get much more interesting than that. But I would push back and go, we don't have Logan all the time to do interesting stuff, right? And honestly, I think part of it is by design. Because I think if you saw Logan on a regular basis, I think you would start to see the truth. I think you'd start to see the truth, and I think people are starting to see the truth anyway. I think that WWE are very good at making celebrities look good in the ring. I think they are very skilled at that. I think they know how to do that. That is something they know how to do. They know how to take people with very limited experience. They know how to structure a match where, think of how many matches WWE have put together over the years, thousands. So they know from the moment a bell rings to the moment the bell rings and the match ends, they know within that time period of 10, 15 minutes, they know what sequences to put where, and they know how to build a match and how to get a more than passable match out of someone very limited. For example, Ric Flair says that he was pretty washed in that WrestleMania 24 match. He was like, there's moments, large moments in that match he has with Shawn Michaels, where Shawn Michaels is basically wrestling himself. He's like, I am just there, and Shawn is the one that's doing all the work around me. And it's true, actually, because if you think about it, one of the biggest spots in that match, if you remember WrestleMania 24, that retirement match, it's Shawn doing a moonsault to the outside and cracking his midsection on a commentary table. So he did a moonsault to Ric Flair. Ric Flair just moves out the way. Shawn smashes into the edge of the commentary table and the table just like collapses down. And it's like one of the biggest spots, and all Flair had to do was just move out the way, and that was it. And that was one of the biggest moments in that match, and it was all Shawn moonsaulting to the outside and then cracking his ribs on the edge of that table, and then the table collapsed. So, Shawn was able to pull one of the great WrestleMania matches out of, how old was he? 60 at that point, Ric Flair? He was old, right? He was old. He was slowing down. There was glimpses of magic, but they were nothing more than glimpses. And Shawn was able to get a great match out of him. If you look at Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 34, people full of praise. She's got this. She knows what she's doing. She's a natural. It was one of the highest rated matches. It was a tag match. And, you know, she's got like Triple H on her shoulders. And, you know, she's like pop, 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 unloading on Steph and unloading on Triple H. And it was so well put together and it was so much fun. And a lot of people were like, man, she was so good. And there was actually all this optimism and enthusiasm around Ronda. And then, of course, Ronda has her run and it's awful. And people kind of start seeing, actually, she's not that good. It was just that WrestleMania match was so well put together. And I think the truth is that with these celebrities, they are so good at, okay, what can you do? I can do this, this, this. And you go, right, okay, what we'll do is we'll put that there, we'll put that there, we'll put that there. I'll take the lead. You just hang with me. When we get to your key moments, like your frog splash to the outside that we make a massive deal out of, you know, we'll you know, highlight it, make it look amazing. And the thing is that those clips do the rounds and they become not bigger than the match, but it's the main takeaway, isn't it? So, you know, the actual match itself is okay. You know, the celebrity is hanging in there, not the one leading the dance. And then they'll get to a point which is like a frog splash to the outside, which Logan tends to do, and he does it all the time. And then, you know, that's the clip that does the rounds, and that's the big memory, that's the big takeaway, like, nah, Logan's really good at wrestling. Did you see that frog splash to the outside? That tends to then become the conversation. And it's like, yeah, but I did also see the rest of the match where he wasn't doing a great deal. And the actual other wrestler, the main wrestler, was the one that was leading everything. And, you know, all Logan was doing was just hanging in there, really. And then, you know, they'll get the odd bit where he might do a suplex or he might do a drop kick. But if look at the match quality of Logan this year. If you go on to Cage Match, it's actually crashed. Not Cage Match, but if you look at the early Logan matches, they're like quite high ratings wise. This year, it's gone down to like 4s and 5s. He's run out of tricks. You know, I think overexposure has already happened. So I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, obviously, they're going to really try to make this match this weekend as great as they can, because obviously this is a massive spotlight for both guys, and they're going to want to make this match really, really good. So I've got no doubt that this weekend's match will be decent. I really think it will. I think this weekend's match will be decent. I think John is back in a rhythm. I think that he showed that he has got plenty still in the gas tank now that he's had a few matches. He's got the cobwebs gone, and he just delivered his best match at SummerSlam. So I think that he'll go in there, and I think they'll keep it relatively tight. I don't think it'll go crazy long. I think they'll keep it quite tight. I think that it'll get time, but you know, I'm not expecting it to be like half hour or anything like that. I think they'll make sure that Logan has his moments, right? I mean, maybe another frog splash to the outside, but it would be nice to see something different. So I think he'll have his moments. But yeah, it's one of those where, for me, if Logan was really serious about this, we would see him more regular. He would be doing house shows. He would be like down in the performance center, just constantly training and working. And I think he does pop there, but I don't know that he's there all that often. Part of it is that, I mean, he's got so many other ventures. Do you know what I mean? Again, if you want to be a wrestler, be a wrestler. But he's got his podcast, he's got Prime, he's doing his vlogs. You know, he's got so many other fires, things in the fire, other projects, that it's like, his plate is very, very full. I sort of feel like if you want to be a pro wrestler, do you not have to give it all of your time? Is it really that easy to be a pro wrestler that you don't have to give 100%? Because you can't tell me he's giving 100%, because he's doing too many other things. So you want to be a pro wrestler, but you're not giving it everything. You're doing other things as well. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's many reasons as to why I ain't a Logan fan, right? I mean, for me, wrestling is an art form. To me, wrestling is a real skill. And to me, wrestling is something you have to work at and you never truly master. To me, even like Bret Hart was still learning and, you know, I'm sure would be the first to say that he never, you know, fully worked everything out. I mean, if nothing else, you could say Bret Hart's promos could have been better. So, I mean, you're constantly working and improving and learning and growing. And yeah, it takes everything. It takes 100%. So, yeah, you know, again, broken record. Edward said, Daze, it's understandable. I do agree. It's a wreck at the moment. It does need structure. I was thinking one-on-one chats on the members. I wasn't saying web, but it is nice to get some new people on the web. Yeah, I like structure, to be honest. So when it comes to the members thing, I think if we were going to do something like that, I would like to structure it. We have got some questions that we've got like written out, so I think I'd like to stick to the same sort of questions for each person, rather than just like conversations that drift. But I don't know, we'll have to see. I've not really given it any thought. Right, Future Champ said, I grew up watching Logan and his brother on YouTube. It doesn't bother me that he's in WWE, says Future Champ. Jank said, you're right, Bad Bunny had one of the best pay-per-view matches of 2023. Not in my opinion, he didn't. Nelson said, wrestlers have other projects, they don't just wrestle. Yeah, but they've learnt to wrestle. So, I mean, if you're referring to, like, Cody or whatever, they've done the work already. Obviously, they can keep improving, but Cody at this point is 20 years into his career, you know? I mean, a lot of wrestlers go through the indie scene, they go through NXT. I mean, show me the Logan Paul NXT matches. Show me the Logan Paul indie matches. I mean, he just went straight in at the pay-per-view level and other wrestlers had to carry him. So this is going to be a real difficult conversation to have with me because I'm a big believer in people doing the work, not saying they're going to do the work and then not doing the work, but actually doing the work. And doing the work in wrestling means that you really do go through the system. And if you kind of skip all that, go straight to the main roster with no previous wrestling experience. I mean, I know he wrestled at high school, but no previous pro wrestling experience. You are then relying on others to get you through matches. And that is what Logan has done. He has absolutely relied on the skills of the other wrestlers to get him through his matches, right? Now, what I will say is that he's probably getting to a point now where he's picked things up and he's going to be much better now than he was when he first started, right? So he's constantly moving forward. He's constantly improving his skill set. But I don't know. I mean, for me, I look at the journey that we've been on. I look at like the people that sort of praise him, and I just don't think people understand what they're actually watching, to be honest. I think if you like Logan because you're a Logan fan. I think there's a couple of reasons why people rate Logan, right? Mostly it's because people are fans of Logan, and it's as simple as that. You grew up watching him and you like Logan, and you're not really bothered if he is a celebrity wrestler and if other people are having to carry him. You just like Logan, and that's fine. I mean, I ain't got no complaints about that because I understand that. That's fine. Like, there's not really a conversation to be had. The conversation is, I've watched Logan, I like him, and I wish him all the best. And, you know, he's trying to bring some attention to WWE, and I support him, and I support that, right? That's fine. I don't have any complaints with that. My counter to that is I'm not a fan of Logan, and I think he's taking opportunity away from other wrestlers that have given their lives to wrestling that have been on the indies, worked in other promotions, gone through NXT, and now can't appear at WrestleMania or SummerSlam because he's took a spot away. You know, someone else could be facing John Cena this weekend. Someone else that has dedicated their lives to WWE and pro wrestling and gone through the system, right? So for me, like, I'm just not a fan of that. I just don't support that. That's not something that I agree with. So that would be my counter. But if people are like, oh no, I really like Logan, I grew up watching him, yeah, great, I get it. Honestly, no complaints. I understand where you're coming from. I get what you're saying. I didn't, so I don't feel that way. Yeah. Him having other projects, you know, being in that situation and having other projects is, you know, that's fine if he wants to do that. Again, you know, there's nothing I can say, is there, other than don't tell me you're giving 100%. Don't tell me that you're all on board this when I'm seeing that you're not. I mean, your words are not marrying up with your actions. And, you know, you're hoodwinking people. You're not being honest. You're being like your brother, who is also running around saying one thing and then doing the complete opposite. If a WWE main roster talent wants to go off and do other projects like films, like John Cena has done, like The Rock has done, like Cody, they have earned that right, because all of those have put years and years and years into pro wrestling, gone through the system. I mean, you know, The Rock was wrestling and was broke. You know, didn't he have $7 to his name at one point? Which is why his company that he runs is called like $7 Promotions. And, you know, he was flat out broke, but he found a way of getting, you know, through to WWE. You know, kind of started off coming in with the whole die Rocky die and all that sort of stuff. But he went, you know, he didn't just come in and get given the keys to the kingdom. Cody certainly didn't get given the keys to the kingdom. He had to go through the whole dashing thing, Stardust thing, and, you know, had to go through like training and go through all of that as well. So these people have earned the right to do other projects, as well as being professional wrestlers, because they've pretty much had their careers. Cody at this point is 40. He's been wrestling for 20 odd years. And that's why, to me, with Logan having next to no experience, I mean, I think Logan's had 23 matches. That's what Cena said. Cena said, you've had 23 matches. I've been doing this 23 years. There's a big difference between our experience levels, you know. And it is crazy to think, isn't it, that Logan's had 23 matches. That's it. That's all he's had, 23 matches. That's it. Suzanne said, all those guys that fought hard to get there deserve it. Logan used money, said Suzanne. Well, it's his fame, isn't it? I mean, we know why he's there. He knows why he's there. Everyone knows why he's there. He's not there because he's an amazing prospect. WWE haven't seen him and gone, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Let's bring him in. He's going to be God's gift to wrestling. They've looked at his social media numbers and looked at, like, you know, his star power and his fame, and they've gone, brilliant, let's bring this guy in. He will get more eyes on the product. He'll get some eyes on the product. WWE are using Logan Paul. Make no mistake about it. They are using Logan Paul. Logan Paul is being used. It's a two-way street, though. WWE are using Logan because they want to get people onto the Impulsive show. They want to get his social media channels that have got lots of followers to just be flooded with wrestling content. And they are just using Logan as a way of marketing. That's it. He might as well be getting paid from the marketing budget. You don't even need to pay him from the talent budget. Just pay him from the marketing budget, because that's what he's there for. So that's what WWE is getting out of it. And in return, What we have to do is we have to give him matches on pay-per-views. Anything else that's being said is just waffle. Do you know what I mean? Anything else, like him saying that he's really dedicated to this, and shut up. You've had 23 matches. And you don't do house shows. And you don't even work all of the TV, like Smackdowns and Raws. And I mean, if anything, you should be doing extra to try and catch up. Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than doing what you're doing at the moment. So, shut up. You're annoying. You're annoying. I find him deeply annoying. When it could be another wrestler that gets that spot. I mean, last time I checked, Karrion Kross wasn't with the company anymore. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have rather seen him in action. But, listen, hey-ho. We've had this conversation before. I'm sure we'll have it again. It is the frustrating sides to pro wrestling for me. It's the side I struggle with the most. I really think that if you work hard, you should get the rewards. I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big believer that if you really put your mind to something and put the work in, you should get the rewards. And seeing people like jump that queue, I just hate it. I really hate it. I've always hated it. I've never been a fan of celebrities being involved in matches. I've never supported it. I've never enjoyed it. I've never wanted it. But it has got kind of worse. And with social media and everything, I feel like it happens on a more regular basis now. And I do find a lot of celebrities to be very selfish. Bad Bunny coming in and, someone mentioned the match I think that match is atrocious in 2023. I think it's atrocious for the simple reason that you made it competitive. Bad Bunny against Damian Priest, and Damian Priest didn't just kick him into the shadow realm. Damian Priest didn't beat Bad Bunny within an inch of his life. Instead, I had to watch these two going back and forth. Actually having moments where they were trying to make it look competitive. I mean, it's just an ego boost for some of these guys. That's all it is. It's a very sad, pathetic ego boost where they, respect to Jelly Roll, actually. Respect to Jelly Roll, because he got in there, and as much as I was not a fan of him being involved in a match either, he said he wanted to lose. He wanted to lose. He felt like the wrestlers are the ones that should be put over. And, I don't think there was too many moments in that match where Jelly Roll looked fantastic. I mean, he took a lot of bumps and, was trying to make the wrestlers look good. So I'll give him praise for that. But I ain't giving Bad Bunny any praise. That match, in my mind, is atrocious. Any match that's going to make it competitive between a complete, novice. I mean, what's Bad Bunny bringing? Come on, look at him. What's he bringing? And he's going to have a competitive match with Damian Priest. I mean, they tried to put in a load of shenanigans, but God, honestly, flipping, I hate this subject. It always puts me in a bad mood. Janet has said, the only celeb I've liked recently was Speeds. I'm not a massive fan of him, but at least he took bumps. I agree. Again, not a big fan that he got involved, but I think if you're going to have a celebrity getting involved, I think the Rumble is a great place to do it, because the Rumble, you do want surprises. I mean, the thing with the Rumble is you could have anyone come out, and I think it's important that when we say anyone, it is anyone. A celebrity, NXT, TNA, AAA, a legend, current roster, anyone. So having the odd celebrity in the Rumble, I'm actually okay with, because I think it just reinforces the anyone aspect. When we're counting down who's coming out now, it could be anyone, right? So I think celebrities in there is probably the best place to put them. The other thing as well is, in a Rumble, you don't really need any wrestling skill, do you? You just got to be tough. You got to get in there and you've got to try and help chuck people over and make sure you don't get chucked over. So, you've just got to try and get in there and survive. I mean, I don't think you're going to have a celebrity win the Rumble. So as long as we don't do anything stupid where Bad Bunny gets in the flipping Rumble and eliminates everyone, as long as we're not doing anything stupid like that, I think it's probably the best place for them. Add in the fact the way they got Speed involved was very creative. Add in the fact he took one of the nastiest spears I've ever seen, and was then very quickly eliminated. You do sort of find yourself going, right, what can we be down about with that, really? I mean, he was in a Rumble, which is the best place for a celebrity. That or a Battle Royal is also a perfectly good place for a celebrity. So not down on that. You could make the argument he took a spot away from another wrestler. I understand that argument, but I do think with the Rumble, it's important that it could be anyone. And so having the odd celebrity in a Rumble, I'm actually not down on. The way they did it was good and everything we just said, good looking. But I agree. I completely agree. I actually think that was the best use of a celebrity as well. Right, how long we got? 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Eli Punk said, Daze, if you was a superstar and you had the ability to get a fellow female superstar as a real-life partner, who would you choose? That was very well worded, bud. That was well worded. Sometimes you get people like, who do you think's really hot? And stuff like that. And it's like, I don't really want to get into that conversation. I don't know, to be honest with you, because I don't really think that way. So I don't really have like a list of names. I suppose if I worked there, I would need to know who's single. I would need to get to know who is quite nice personality-wise. I mean, look, they're all attractive. I mean, there's... I think back in the day, you used to kind of get hired on your looks as well as your ability. The thing is that presentation is obviously very important. With the guys, tall, jacked, Roman Reigns, or at least having some height and, or, some sort of presence. I'm thinking Bronson Reed, right? Might not be the tallest, but he's got a presence. I'm thinking Jacob might not be the most jacked, but he's got a presence. Guys get hired on that. Girls, I think a lot of their presence comes from their looks. We bring in a lot of gymnasts and basketball stars, track and field stars. I mean, if you look at like Rhea, Bianca, I mean, they're just gorgeous girls, aren't they? I mean, gorgeous girls. I do worry that we do exclude people that are just average looking, that could be potentially even better. I mean, I think Rhea and Bianca are amazing, but I don't know. I do think that obviously WWE is full of very attractive people. It's all part of their presentation and their presence. And I do think that if you are someone like me that's average at best in the looks department, then you're probably going to struggle to get into WWE. But I'd like to think that's changing, actually. I'd like to think that's changing. I'd like to think that as time has gone by, we're starting to, recruit a bit more now by skill and what you can actually bring in-ring wise. I mean, it's a really difficult conversation, this, because I mean absolutely no disrespect. And I think if you've watched this channel for a long time, you'll hopefully believe that and understand that. But like Bailey Humphrey is someone in LFG that I think you could say is unconventional in regards to her appearance for a female. So she is like a female wrestler in WWE, normally think Divas era. And even coming out of Divas era, we were still bringing in these really attractive girls. I feel like Bailey Humphrey has not been recruited because of her looks. I feel like she has been recruited because she is going to be an absolute wrecking machine. I am really excited about her. I have just downloaded, actually, LFG. And I'm really looking forward to getting stuck in and watching LFG and looking at more about Bailey Humphrey in particular, because she is someone that you see and she grabs your attention. She looks a bit different in the sense of she's just not your traditional looking female WWE talent. You know, I don't think she's been recruited for her looks. I think she's been recruited because she's going to mess people up. And I think that's really exciting. So I'm hoping that that's kind of starting to change now, that we're moving away from just hiring people for their looks. So this kind of conversation doesn't sit comfortably with me, which is why I thought that was worded very well. My honest answer is, if I was going to try and find a partner, if I was a wrestler, I mean, I think there's a lot of people in WWE that are obviously out for themselves. I think there's a lot of people in wrestling that obviously are trying to climb that ladder. It's a dog-eat-dog world. We know about like Charlotte and the falling out with Tiffany, you know, like Britt Baker and things that have gone down there. I mean, the thing with wrestlers is they are all fighting for TV time and space on the card. And so I think you've kind of got to be careful of some of the bad apples. I think you've got to be careful of some people that I don't know if you want to spend your life with, right? So I think you need to sort of get to know a few people as well. I don't know that there's a lot of attractive people. If you was going off looks, I mean, just spin a wheel and pick one of them, because I mean, they're all attractive, but personality-wise, you'd probably have to do a lot of work finding out who these people really are. Because the thing with pro wrestling is that you are, you know, the only person that's going to really worry about you is you. And if you are fighting for TV time, then, you know, you've got to focus on that. And so I think that there's a bit of backstabbing. I think it can be a bit dog eat dog. I think there's probably a lot more stuff that goes on than we're even aware of in that regard. I was listening actually to Tom Lawler, Filthy Tom Lawler, and he was saying that, talking about the Raja incident, he said that someone on the indie scene had actually paid him money, or said they would pay him money to shoot on someone. So that what that means is that someone wanted to pay Tom Lawler money to actually really start going off on a fellow wrestler. And I think that the reason for that is because, well, it could be that they were wronged, but it could be that they feel that that person is ahead of them in the pecking order as well. And that if that person gets out the way, then, you know, I could be champ, or, you know, I could get more bookings or whatever it might be. So, you know, it can be moody, the world of professional wrestling. You are all battling for spots, for TV time. Like, there's all this stuff that happens. So, I don't know. I think you'd really want to get to know someone before you kind of really committed your life to them, you know. A lot of good people in wrestling as well, though. I mean, a lot of the wrestlers end up finding a partner, don't they? Doesn't always work out, of course. But, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to give a name because I don't know who's single and then what they're really like as a person behind the scenes. Right, boom. Okay, coverage is starting. Let me end that and that. We are in the City of Lights. Nick said the Wrestling Pod yesterday was the worst, but it was also the funniest and the best. It was an absolute train wreck. It was genuine cinema, says Nick. Well, it was... I haven't even recovered. I haven't even mentally, Nick. I haven't even recovered, but I'm glad you got something from it. Lovely energy straight out of the gate here. Ian, shout out to you, buds. Keep up the good work. See you tomorrow for Clash. And Robbie, shout out to you as well, buds. Okay, there's Sami. We're just seeing people arriving. Okay, they're still showing us Sami, I think. I think they were probably meant to cut to someone else, but they stayed on Sami a little bit there. It is a great atmosphere. Okay, Wade Barrett said, I predict this crowd is going to be rioting tonight because we've got an amazing cards. Right, they're just running a recap of last week and John Cena. Can't believe that's been a week already. Can you believe that was a week ago? Where's that time gone? It was a week ago that Becky was in the ring. Right, Daze, Clash isn't tomorrow, it's on Sunday. Yes, well, this weekend. Be Serious said, Daze, are we doing a double feature watch long? Yes, we'll be back later as well. James, thank you. Joshua said, I thought Clash was Sunday. Yeah, no, it is Sunday. I don't know, did I say tomorrow? Sunday. I'm so used to PLEs being on a Saturday that it is strange it being on a Sunday. I've not heard, you know, I did actually Google search why is Clash in Paris on Sunday, and AI responded because that's when it's been scheduled. That was the answer I got. It's because that's when it was scheduled. It's like, brilliant, thanks. I was looking for something a little bit more informative than that, but, you know, I'll take that. I'm not even lying, that's what AI said back to me in response. Because that's when it was scheduled. What time is Smackdown started? Smackdown has started. We're just watching a recap video from last week. John Cena, Logan Paul. Just having a little chat. Great lines by Cena. I really enjoyed that segment last week. I thought him saying the kind of things to Logan that I would like to say. You've had 23 matches. I've been doing this 23 years. And it is the second version of John getting KO'd that they show us. Okay, we've got a vehicle arriving. It's Logan. Logan steps out of the car. Logan's like, I can't even hear you. Logan's music hits. We're watching him going through Gorilla. Gorilla looks a bit different, doesn't it? Suppose they can't take the... I wonder if they can't take the real, actual Gorilla. So there we go. We've seen Logan getting out of the car, going through Gorilla, stepping out into the entranceway, and it's a slightly different looking entranceway as well. Logan said he can't hear the crowds. Okay. Logan making his way down to the ring then. We know that we've got John on the show. Now, I wonder... I know that Logan punched Cena, but Logan is going to obviously do a promo now. I mean, I'm guessing he's going to have to respond to the comments that John made last week. Boos for Logan. Where can we watch Smackdown? It's on Netflix. So this is being shown live on Netflix internationally. You won't be able to see it in America. You need a VPN. In America, you lot have got to watch it on USA Network at its usual time. USA Network have got the rights. So USA Network will be showing it at its usual time. So it will be delayed for you. But if you've got a VPN and you've got access to Netflix, UK Netflix, then you can watch it live. Right now, Logan is in the ring. You suck is the chants. John Cena said he thinks I'm a parasite. And it sounds like you lot think I'm a parasite. Uncle Howdy in the front row, or someone dressed as Uncle Howdy in the front row. You people have a problem with change? He's a disruptor. I think we've got a slight parasite chance. It's Brinnigan said the John Cena Belgium kid in the crowds. Yeah, have we seen him? Is it FU Logan? Yeah, I think we've got FU Logan chants. FU Logan. Yeah, so FU Logan, and they're loud as well. They're having to let it go because if they keep muting them, they would be muting Logan. Logan says he put them on Netflix. Well, he's getting very frazzled. Yeah, so Logan is taking things that other people achieved and making out that he achieved them. This French crowd should just keep chanting FU Logan. WWE had a choice to make there. Are you gonna keep muting that F words? But if you do that, it's gonna really interrupt his promo. You suck chance now. Oh, God. WWE is becoming WWE me. Okay, can we bring Cena out? They've done a good job of... I gave him a chance. Let's go Cena chance. Let's go Cena chance. The Belgian kid is stuck his middle finger up at Logan, said it's pretty again. Logan said that he is an athletic phenom. One thing I will say about Logan is we saw Charlotte crumble. And this kind of crowd heat. And Logan is just plowing through, plowing forward, finding a way. I will give him that. He's not giving up. He's still going. Wrestling is changing, and I am wrestling. Here's John Cena. Oh, God. I'm going to watch this again later. I've only just remembered. I got to sit through that again. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go to work. Cena making his way down to the ring, jumping in the ring. Logan didn't have anything really noteworthy to say there. You're booing me, but I'm an athletic phenom. I brought Prime to WWE. This crowd are going mental for Cena. This crowd are going crazy for John. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I'm so glad that we didn't have Cena walking into this French crowd as a heel. I'm so glad that we didn't make that mistake. Because we know that this French crowd is going to be amazing. And we know they're going to be amazing in Paris as well. You don't want to mess around with diluting this. This is special. You let this run wild. You let this run wild. It would have been a huge mistake for him to have been heel right now. Cena, 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 Cena. Mate, it is going bananas. They're loving all of it. Please welcome the greatest of all time. Look at the smile on his face. Yes. Massive cheer. Massive cheer. The chants break out. The crowd are just as electric as you would hope. Look at the scenes. Damn, you are stupid, says John. If we don't have the fans, we don't have a show. I mean, he probably should have remembered that earlier this year, shouldn't he, really? Do you remember when he was going off on the fans? Everyone knows. Okay. Brilliant response to Cena. You're not a disruptor. You're just a wannabe. You're standing in the ring with one of the original disruptors. So Cena said you're knocking people out with brass knucks. I was doing that 20 years ago. Mine said word life. You're nothing more than a dollar store, John Cena. Your influence is not what it was, and we all know it. Oh. Wow. Cena's talking about the top 25 influencers. But Logan's name was nowhere to be found. Your influence is not what it was. Oh, mates. When you make the front page, it's for the wrong reasons. He's cooking him again? You're not here to save wrestling. You're here to save your own ass. He's cooking him again? He can't wrestle is the chant. Mate, that is a savage takedown. I saw the top 25 influencers. Your name was not on it. You're not as influential as you used to be. Oh, now Cena's speaking French. Cena's speaking French. Oh, now Logan speaking French. Why does dude always look like he's about to cry? That's 2 weeks in a row now. It's looked to me like Logan's on the verge of tears being in there with John. You're a gimmick. Yeah. He said that. He said that last week. Logan, you've got to give your heart to the business. I hope this doesn't lead to a Logan face turn, because there ain't no one going to be on board with that. He said he's going to show what respect. Is he going to go to that kids? Yes, he is. He's going over. He said, "Where's my boy at?" Respect. He's talking about respect, and he's like, "Where's my boy at?" Where is he? Here we go. He's going to find that kid, isn't he? I'm sorry, I was having a bad day. Where is he? There he is! There he is! I love you. The kid says, I love you. Oh my God, look at that. Cena says, I'm sorry. I was having a bad day. To the kid from Brussels. The kid's like, hang on, let me film this. Let me film this. And he's like, yes, yes, I love you. I love you. That is amazing. That is brilliant. That is amazing. An apology to the kid from Brussels. That kid as well, he was like, yes, yes. I don't know if that kid was planted, and they might have just invited him back out. Oh, if you don't get real on Sunday, you ain't gonna ruin wrestling. Wrestling's gonna ruin you. Mate, John Cena once again cooks Logan Paul. 2 weeks in a row, he's cooked. Amazing. 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 Brilliant. I don't know if they'll be serving Logan after Smackdown ends. They might do. If you go like to the concession stand, you might be able to buy like a bit of Logan because he just got absolutely cooked. They could probably put him in like a burn or something like that. I don't know. Perhaps just like a bit of him on the side with some French fries. Don't know, but I'd imagine the meat is quite tough and a bit bitter, but I'd imagine it's thoroughly cooked. Okay, we're backstage with the Street Profits. Oh my God! Bo? When you come for us and you fail, you're going to find out if he really is your brother. So Bo is kind of asking the question, is your bond as close as you think it is of the Street Profits? Well, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. Here's Charlotte. Here's Alexa. Bow, bow, bow. Let's go. The look the Street Profits just gave each other was fire, says True Ace. It was like a... Here's Alexa. Alexa making her way down. Wow. Quite a lot to unpack. Oh, hello. Chelsea and Alba have attacked as Charlotte and Alexa were making their entrance. Okay, Charlotte is down. I wonder if this match is going to happen. Charlotte is down. And it looks like we're going to a bit of a commercial break for a second, or just a little break. Okay, right. I thought it was a fan that just jumped Charlotte. Yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere, to be honest. Okay, Charlotte and Alexa versus Chelsea and Alba, but honestly, they've just got jumped. I'm not sure we're even going to get the match. To be honest, we're 27 minutes into this show. We've had a quarter of the show. I mean, I wonder if we're overrunning a touch. I bet the match now gets moved to Clash, says Joel. Nikki could replace Charlotte if she's injured, said Harbinger. Nikki could step in. That would be cool, but it won't happen, said TJF. Right, okay. Unfortunately, do you remember last week we did this where we had a really long opening first half an hour, no commercial interruptions, and then I feel like afterwards we pushed all the commercials that we had missed into the remaining hour and a half, and it was just like I felt like we were going to commercial all the time. So I think we could be looking at a similar situation where we maybe now get quite commercial heavy, so we can breathe for a second. Love the open. I think they've done, I don't think they've done Logan dirty, but I think they have done Logan dirty. Logan comes out, says what he wants to say. I don't know who works with Logan, but there was nothing that he said. And I'm not just saying this because I'm not a fan of Logan. If there was some really clever line in there, I think I would praise that. And I'd be like, that was good. He said this, that was good. But I genuinely can't remember anything Logan said that I thought was really impactful. I mean, for Cena to come out and say, I looked at the top 25 influencers and your name was not on that list. I mean, that is just a degree of research and work. It's a level that Logan did not go to. I mean, Logan did not get personal. Logan just came out and basically said, the deal with Netflix is because of me. The deal with ESPN is because of me. And it's not. I mean, we know it's not. It's got nothing to do with him. If he wasn't in the company, they still would have got those deals. That to me is Logan sort of wasting his promo time saying stuff that is so obviously not true. And actually, Cena even saying that. Cena coming out saying, you just came out and said all this stuff, which is fake. Everyone knows you are being fake. You are not being real. Everyone knows you are being fake. And then to go, you know, you're not even that influential. You didn't make the top 25 most influential people. Back when you was a teenager, you was doing short video clips with your brother. Then as you got older, you started doing diss tracks. Now if you make the front page of the news, it's for all the wrong reasons. It's like, oh my God, I mean, it's just savage, brutal takedown. But the thing is, there's no opportunity for Logan to respond because we just end the segment. So I don't feel sorry for Logan, but the way it's structured, I think, is quite interesting. Logan comes out, gets to speak first, doesn't really have much to say. Cena comes out, just cooks him. End of the segment. 2 weeks in a row. It's kind of gone that way where, you know, Cena has got the better of Logan and Logan has not had a chance to really respond. I wonder if his response will be in a banging match and then we get like a handshake. I do think that Cena will probably shake Logan's hand after the match, like, respect, you've earned my respect type situation. I can't imagine that he's just going to have a match, beat him and walk away. I mean, what does Logan get out of that? I'd love it if he did, though. I'd love it if Cena beat him, just walked away. Flipping love that. Right, looks like this has gone down to a singles match. Looks like this is now just Alexa and Chelsea following that attack in the entranceway. Okay. Robbie said, I'm going to pop in and out. I'm not watching SmackDown. I'm just going to follow clips in the stream. I've got a busy day and a holiday weekend in America, said Robbie. Well, Robbie, have fun. Don't know what the crowd are chanting. I think they're chanting something to Chelsea. There's a sign in the crowd that says, miss you, Bray. Right now we got Alexa over against the ropes. Alexa back in the middle of the ring. Big boot there by Chelsea. I don't hear you now, Chelsea says to the fans. Chelsea has got Alexa. But Alexa reverses. Chelsea goes to the outsides. Crowd are into this. Crowd are into everything. Rastandy said, are you streaming anything tomorrow? I don't know, to be honest. I don't have any plan. My plan for this weekend is Clash in Paris, so I don't think so. Oh, I don't know. Have the Vault got anything loaded up? Sometimes the Vault do things on a Sunday. I don't know if they've got anything loaded up for Saturday. But yeah, I always try and focus on like something for the weekend. I've not had a chance to do any research for I don't even know who's fighting on UFC. So I've not had any chance to do any research for UFC. Brandon said, is Cena going to tell Logan it's called a promo? What, like he did to Roman back in the day? I mean, he didn't. It was really interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Clothesline there by Chelsea. Crowd's brilliant. Crowd is exactly what you would hope the crowd would be like. Sacramala. Don't know. I missed the D headline. I missed that bit. Logan said to Cena about wrap it up, and Cena said, wrap it up, no problem. You asked for this match. And then he said a bad word. Back elbow there by Alexa. I wonder if Cena, I mean, like, Cena has actually got me wondering if he's got legit problems with Logan. Or if they're just building and working, and I don't know. He has pulled no punches with him whatsoever. He's given him no easy rides at all. Logan Paul has had the full John Cena experience. You missed Jared's super chat. Okay, thanks, James. Let's have a look. Let's catch up. Jared said, if Cena is here tonight, have we swapped a date? No, I think this was one of the dates. I think the Go Home Smackdown was one of the dates. I mean, we've lost a date. I think we're now down to 9. But my understanding is that this was one of them. Or at least, I mean, I haven't checked. I'm not, like, such a big John Cena fan that I've got them all written down. But in my mind, this was just one of the dates that they had planned. Brandon Butler said, is Cena going to tell... Oh, we read that one. Okay, I think we're up to date. Alexa going face first into the commentary table. Daze, do we think that we get any spicy surprises? NXT got 615. Let's go, said Benny. Spicy surprises. I don't think we get Brock. I do wonder about someone else joining Seth's team, but I don't think it has to happen because a fatal four-way means that Seth can find a way of just escaping with that title, you know. So many moving parts that if it was a singles match, then, you know, maybe we might need to find an interesting escape route. But I don't think we need one here. And I don't think we get Brock. We could get Brock, but I'm not expecting Brock. I don't think he gets on a plane, goes all the way over to Paris. I don't think that's needed. So I'm not expecting Brock. We could get someone like Ilya. I've seen some people wondering if Lana shows up to help Rusev. I think that's a good shout. I think that's interesting. Lana coming back, because it does feel like Rusev has got something missing. So I think actually Lana coming back and helping, distracting, I actually like that shout. In regards to returns, I mean, we don't know how long Liv's out for. I'm not expecting her on Sunday. Kevin Owens, certainly not. Some people are wondering if we get Carrion. I'm going to lean towards no. But it's an interesting theory. There's a few interesting theories on that. There's a We Want Cross sign in the crowd, actually. I can just see it now as Alexa is still battling away with Chelsea. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not... I suppose you could potentially get Brie coming in to try and help Nikki. You might get that as well. So there's a few little bits, but I'm not expecting anything seismic. Not expecting anything that's going to, you know, be that mind-blowing. Maybe a Brie. Maybe a Lana. Here's Twisted Bliss, but knees up there by Chelsea. Chelsea getting her knees up. Looking for the unprettier, but no joy into her sister Abigail. No, round the back, reversing again. Roll up 1, 2, 3, and Alexa gets it. Alexa gets the win. Pretty fast-paced action. Not a bad match. So Alexa getting the win on the former Women's United States champion. It's a good win, that, for Alexa, who has severely ripped her tights as well. The tight quality is very, very poor in 2025. Alexa jumping out the ring. Alba, it did look like she was going to go for a kick, and she does go for a kick. Alexa being thrown back in the ring. And right now they're stomping away. I don't know where Charlotte is. There's a cheer. Charlotte's hobbling her way down. Charlotte hobbling her way down. Forearm shot coming in there by Charlotte. Clothesline coming in there by Charlotte. Through the ropes. Charlotte getting through the ropes. Chopping away at Chelsea. And again. And Charlotte going over. Oh, now Charlotte gets planted. And now Alexa gets planted as well. So once again, it is the baby faces that are down. Chelsea, Alba saluting. And they jump out the ring. Wade Barrett said a championship opportunity has got to be coming their way soon, which doesn't really make much sense considering she just lost that match. Right, we're backstage with Sami. We got Sami backstage. Crowd are olaying away. They're in. You can hear them, man. They're in good voice for Sami. Sami said he didn't feel like the best version of himself. I feel the way I felt when I main evented WrestleMania. I feel the way I felt. There's no better place to do it than Leon. Oh, look at that Sami go, man. Sami Zayn. I tell you what, this is going to be like flipping Montreal for him. Ah, there we go. Cody and Brandy welcoming in another child. Okay, they're talking about WWE Unreal. Okay, Daze, I'm not surprised if Y2J doesn't go to WWE. Hasn't he got problems with Triple H? He is not a paragon of virtue to Triple H. I think it's one of those, though, where we've seen CM Punk go back. So I think that there is a way forwards. I think that Triple H... It's a very difficult situation. It's a bit like if you are working in a shop and then you have to sort of start managing people that you have been working alongside. You know, that's I'm sure some of you have been in that situation. It's an interesting sort of shift. And so it's one of those where I think that there's a way forward. I think that Triple H has learnt a lot from working with CM Punk. I think that, there's different ways of treating different people. Of course, Triple H is the boss and he needs doing what he needs doing. But there's a way forward of like working with people. And I think that maybe Chris has seen the way that Punk has gone back and knowing the way that Punk felt about Triple H as well. I think Jericho might look at that and think, well, do you know what? It's more important to me that I have my last match at Mania and I have my last run in WWE, who are the biggest company. Even if I'm not a fan of Triple H or there's any kind of issue that's there, I think I'm mature enough to be able to work with him. And certainly mature enough to go and have a conversation. I mean, if you go and have a conversation with Triple H and he's like, look, I just want to wrap up your career the right way. I'm thinking something along these lines. And it sounds good. Where's the issue? You're going to get paid well. You're going to be at WrestleMania. Like, are you really going to turn that down because of any sort of... It's business first, isn't it? It's business first. You get your business sorted first. You see out your career the right way. So, I don't think that will be a barrier, personally. I think that there's been a lot of progress made. Here we go. Erase Your Mind said 50 months. Erase Your Mind. Shout out to you, my friends. Shout out to you. Really appreciate the support. It says 51, actually, bud. It says 51. So, yeah, it's a good shout, but I don't think it'll be a barrier. Okay, I think Chris holds more records in wrestling than any other, says Al. Ben said, do we think Carrion will return? I do think Carrion will return, yes. The one thing I don't know is if this is part of the current plan. I can only say what I've been saying, and my mind has not changed at any point, and that is that the whole Carrion leaving situation is very strange. It's very weird. It doesn't feel right. Something feels off. I feel like there's a massive piece of information that we've not had. I don't know if there's issues between him and Triple H. I don't know if there's a falling out that's happened, or if Carrion wanted more money and WWE didn't want to go that far, or if this is a work and Carrion is scheduled to be coming back in the near future. They're just letting him do his book tour first. Like, it feels to me like there's something really big that's missing, because Carrion's got a great look. His package with Scarlett as a presentation is fantastic. He doesn't really get given much in the way of opportunity to show what he can do. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't get it. The fans want him. It doesn't make sense, does it? It just doesn't make sense. So it kind of leaves you with this feeling of what is really going on. What is really happening here? So I think he does return eventually. When? I'm not sure. Okay, we've got Aleister Black right now. Okay, so he's talking to Damian Priest backstage. And it's a good presentation with all the candles around and everything. It looks really good. Just remember, I warned you. Okay, there's Damian. We're backstage with, so a very short promo, but we're backstage now with Kathy Kelly and Damian Priest. I know he wants to be like me, but he isn't me. Aleister, I'm going to teach you what it is to be like me. I'm going to teach you a lot about pain. So Damian says that he's going to enjoy every bit of violence that he's going to inflict. Okay. Right, Michin making away. I'm looking forward to this. This is Michin against Kiana. I'm looking forward to this. We have not seen Kiana compete. So Michin making her way out. Brandon, shout out to you, my friend. Brandon Butler. Appreciate the support. I did just go over to your channel and subscribe. So you have a subscriber, and it is me. Brandon said, with Triple H, Jericho, there's a big difference when you're in competition for TV time and rivals. Paul being boss and Jericho being the employee. Very true. Very, very true. I think it is a completely different situation. I mean, as you've rightfully said, both competing to try and get TV time, both competing for championships, both compete. I mean, there should be no competing when it comes to going back and working with Triple H. I mean, yes, you are working under Triple H. He is the creative force. He is the person that's steering the ship. But hopefully there's enough respect there where Jericho's voice can be heard and he can, you know, give his opinion and that opinion be listened to. I mean, it might be that it doesn't go in that direction. It might be that Triple H is looking at slightly a bigger picture. And hopefully, if that was ever the case, Jericho could appreciate that. But yeah, I think you make a really good point there. It's a very, very different situation than both being wrestlers, both competing for places on the card for championships, compared to actually what should be working together to, tell the right stories and hopefully kind of wrap up Chris's career the right way. It's been a hell of a career. Whatever you think about Chris Jericho and his run in AEW, it's been a hell of a career that he has had. You know, he's kind of fought all over the world in multiple different promotions. And, even before he arrived in WWE, he'd had a good career. And then, of course, he comes into WWE and goes to a whole different level. One of the biggest names in WWE history. I mean, certainly not, I would say, not that kind of top tier along with a Cena and a Roman and a, you know, San Martino and a Hogan and a Stone Cold and a Rock. He's not that level. He's not Undertaker level. But I think if you go that sort of next level down, where for me, star power wise, you probably have got a Bret Hart. And, you know, I think a Jericho would probably live at that sort of level. I suppose the point I'm making, never quite being given the ball. Bret had runs as champ, Jericho had runs as champ, but were they ever really given the opportunity to be that guy like Cena was, like Stone Cold was, like Roman was, like San Martino was? You know, I feel like he's probably that next level down, but still undeniably one of those kind of massive giant names in the history of WWE. So, yeah, I agree with you. I agree. I say bring him back. Let's have this final run. Let's end it the right way. Hopefully end it in an entertaining way. And I'd be interested to see how they would do that, to be honest. So, yeah, if he comes in, I'm all for it. If he doesn't, no problem. Right, here is Kiana's entrance. So they've gone with the same vibe from NXT, with like a helicopter landing and then out she steps. Julia coming out alongside Kiana as well. Does look a little bit weird, this pairing, to be honest. I think it makes more sense if there was more people rather than it just being these two. But I do like the graphics. I liked them when we were in NXT. I actually can't remember if it's the same music or not, but Kiana making her way down to the ring. She was one of America's top young business achievers, apparently. So that's why she's got this sort of businesswoman gimmick. Yeah, not crazy about the music. The music's not grabbing me, but I don't mind the helicopter. Kind of feels like someone important has just landed. That's the kind of vibe they're going for. The pairing with Julia is a little bit random, but as we said, if Kiana can kind of add some extra people to her stable, her conglomerate, then I think it might make a bit more sense. Julia looks great as well with, I think she's got some Air Jordans on. She looks great. Right, let's see if this match can live up to expectation. Man United Hodge said, random, but what happened to Keith Lee? He went to AEW. I don't know if they're still using him. Oh my God, it's over! Kiana lost! Kiana lost! Kiana lost! No, mate! I literally just was like, all right, okay. Match over! Match over! Wow. So right now they're holding, big knee coming in. So that means Michin. I wonder if we've just overrun. I wonder if that was always the plan. Or if we're just really struggling for time because of the opening segment. Into the barricade goes Michin. Julia right now unloading on Michin. Oh, god damn. I was looking forward as well. Julia has got Michin right in front of those steps. I wish Michin was being a bit more expressive there, to be honest. Mate, Michin has just got... She's in front of the steps. She's got the ring steps in front of her. And she's like, no. Like, shouldn't she be, like, screaming and shouting blue murder there? Shouldn't she be making a massive deal about the fact she's about to get smashed into some ring steps? Why was Michin's... I don't get that. Why was she like, no. in my mind, I mean, I might as well talk about what I'm thinking. I'm like, is Michin annoyed that match was cut short or something? Why would someone like Michin that struggles for TV time be put in a situation where she's about to get smashed into some ring steps and just be like, no. Like, wouldn't you be like, no, like, trying to fight out, like, really, do you know what I mean? Like, maximize your moments. Okay, your match is short, but, like, the post-match attack, let's work. I thought that was a bit annoying, to be honest. Michin is someone that I always want to see getting more opportunity, getting her teeth into stuff, like having a chance to actually really get some TV time. She doesn't get it all that often. She's just had it there, and like, I don't know, man. I'm looking at her and I'm like, what are you bringing here? Not much is the answer. Don't get that. Don't know. Perhaps she's just having a bad day. But it was a beatdown after by Julia. Very, very short match. And, yeah, on we go. Right. I feel like there's a lot for us to... There's certainly a lot I need to catch up with. I'm around about 20-odd minutes behind with getting things into the folders by the looks of things. TJF said, I was wondering the same. Yeah, look, I'm not trying to be down on Michin. I'm really not. I like Michin. I want her to get opportunity. But, like, when you get on TV and you get opportunity, like, well, then it's time to go in it. This is it. It's time to dance. It's not a biggie, but it's just... I would be annoyed at that if I was Triple H. Honestly, I'm annoyed at it now. I would be annoyed at that. Like, you want opportunity, I give you opportunity, and then you respond by just not really giving me any sort of performance there. Okay, Alexa, Chelsea, good 93. Not going to obviously score that match that we just had. There's not really much of a point. Okay. True Ace said, I was looking to the crowd to see if I saw Nikki sneaking around because of my Wyatt instincts. It's a good shout, that. Yeah. It's a good shout. James said, you can only do what you're allowed or told to do. Well, I don't think they would have told her to just not respond. I mean... She was being held. I don't see any reason why in that moment she couldn't have sold fear. She's about to get smashed into some ring steps. So why in that moment would they say to her, don't bother selling it. Don't bother selling it. Just sort of act like you're not that bothered. That doesn't really make any sense to me. I mean, if she wants to come out and say they told her not to do that, then I will change my criticism, and my criticism will then go to the creative. But I can't see a reason as to why they would have said to her, just don't bother selling that. Just don't worry about it. I think in that moment, it's sort of a given that you will sell that. And that you will show that you are, like, trying to fight back against it. And I just don't think she delivered what was required there. But if we find anything further out and it turns out they did say for her to not do that, then I will happily change my criticism. I am not worried about criticizing WWE Creative. It's practically my job at this stage. In 2025, it's probably the thing I've done the most. Right, here's Drew. Drew making his way down to the ring. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we know that he is building to a match with Cody. I wonder if he's going to mention Cody's new kid. It would make sense, to be honest. your opponent has just had a new kids. I mean, it'd be hard to not mention it. Apparently the crowd were chanting, "We don't have any more money," after spending so much on tickets. Let me listen. Oh, it's in French. I don't know. Apparently the French fans in French were chanting, "We don't have any more money." They must have flashed up like another show or something. Oh, they flashed up a merch commercial. So in the arena, look, they had an advert on screen. They had an advert on screen for WWE Shop, and the French fans in French were chanting, "We ain't got no more money." So there we go. Pretty fun. Okay, Drew, get in the ring. Let's see what he's going to say to Cody. Oh, he's calling out Randy. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot that he was doing this little part-time thing with Randy. I wonder if this leads to a Randy heel turn. Because you do a Randy Drew little story. Then you do Drew Cody. Randy comes down with everyone thinking, oh, he hates Drew, he loves Cody, and then bang, turns. French fans are loud. James, shout out to you, said, Daze, what are the top 3 superstars right now that could easily step to the main roster? I'd say Ethan Page. Makes a lot of sense. I think Trick Williams. And I'm trying to decide as to whether I want to go JC or I want to go Jordan or I want to go... I don't think Jordan's... I need to see more of Jordan cutting live in-ring promos, to be honest. I never watched TNA. I'm sure she's great. That's the only area that I'm like, her kind of in-ring live promo. I've seen her do a couple in NXT that have been a bit flat, actually. So I'm going to say maybe a little bit of work to be done there. So maybe you go Oba. I know that WWE likes Sol Ruka. So I don't know that Sol Ruka needs a run with the top title. She might do. So they might give her a run with the NXT Women's Championship. But they really like Sol Ruka, and there's word that they're even thinking of calling her up anyway. A bit like Kiana James. Kiana James never won the NXT Women's title, and they called her up. I think she's ready. So, yeah, definitely Ethan Page. I think Trick Williams has got really good matches, really good promos. I think he is ready. He's got a great look as well. He can do face, he can do heel. So those two I feel really comfortable with. And then really there's, yeah, I mean, it could be Oba, it could be JC, it could be Ricky. There's a few that you can choose from for that third one. Some really good talent down in NXT. Some really good... really good potential. Okay, Randy is in the ring. It just took a little while for him to get in the ring. Okay, Randy grabbing the microphone. Daze, Michin Kiana was my dream match. The end with Kiana getting squashed makes it my match of the year, says Benny. Okay, crowd going crazy. Wasn't that special, says Drew. Now, wasn't that special? If you're embarrassed about SummerSlam, it's on you. You did pick Jelly Roll as a tag partner. Okay, Drew said, when you was out, I guarantee that Cody was on the phone to you, checking on you.
Remember what happened to King of the Ring in the final, yeah? When Randy Orton hesitated to put Cody Rhodes in the head because he's your friend. Well, Cody didn't hesitate. He went right for your back. He attacked your back because he knew how to hurt you. He knew how to hurt you because you told him, Randy. You gave him the answers.
Look at me. Okay, he's really trying to plant some seeds here. He's trying to plant seeds about Cody not really being his friend. Crowd are chanting RKO. We are into the second hour. This promo taking us into the second hour. If you think I dropped you last week for Cody, you're wrong. I dropped you last week because I think you're a prick. Headbutt there by Drew. Headbutt by Drew. Drew going back in the corner is telling Randy to get up. He's got him lined up for the Claymore, but Randy moves out the way. Right now we got Drew on the outside. Randy is looking over at Drew, coming over, grabbing him, looking for that draping DDT. And he's going to plant him, and he does. Draping DDT there by Randy. Well, here we go. He's setting him up for the RKO. Surely he won't be able to hit it. Yeah, lots of security coming down. So security came racing down to stop Randy from hitting that RKO. But I think the security guards are likely going to get RKO'd instead. And they do. There we go. Oh, Helms is like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm not going to RKO you, but of course he does. An RKO to the Hurricane. Oh, now he's going to look for the punts. He's going to look for the punts. And Drew rolls out the ring. Okay, no announcement for the match being added to Clash in Paris. There is a thought that we could be going that way. I mean, we're clearly heading to a match. It's just when. Okay, we're backstage with The Miz, and there's Melo. Together, we're a team. You can hear the crowd cheering as I think Randy's getting out the ring. Together, we're a team. So Miz just trying to get Carmelo fired up. Oh, is it Bo again? Yeah, it's Bo again. So Bo with a few words for Carmelo. Carmelo with a few words back. Looks like the stalking in the background has kind of ended. Now we're being a lot more direct. Smackdown being taped. I checked. USA is not airing. Oh, well, it'll air at its usual time. Yeah, it is being taped. We get it live over here in Europe because of the fact that we're on Netflix for Smackdown, and that's live. But in America, you guys have got it on USA Network. It's like they're giving Bo Cross's gimmick of speaking the truth and teasing breakups, says Tri-Beam user. Okay, Street Profits are making their way down. So, Street Profits, Melo don't Miz. Guessing that means our main event is Solo Sami. We've still got those matches still to come. Right. Sonny, hello. Hope you're doing well, buds. Street Profits versus Melo don't Miz. Okay, Miss Cowan said, these guys are boring. Talented, but for me, they're boring. Cooper said, this is my favourite crowds. Brian said, are you doing 2 streams? Yes. Yes. And I feel like only now am I really starting to wake up. As I said, like, when I got up really close, a bit too close to the start of the stream. So I got up and I set the stream up, and of course any sort of problems was going to cause a delay, and of course I ran into problems. So I was having to like restart things, and I put a message in like, guys, give me a sec, technical issues. But I mean, I was still in the process of waking up, but I feel much better now. So I feel like I've kind of woke up as the stream has gone on. Just like last week, I do think the second stream will be better. This is the half asleep version of me that you've had on this stream, right? So I'm starting to actually feel like I'm a bit more with it now. So honestly, by the time we get to tonight's stream, we'll be cooking. We'll be cooking by the time we get to that stream. So yeah, I mean, look, I think SmackDown's been fun. I mean, we're an hour and 15 minutes in, and it's really flown by, to be honest. Once again, though, not loads match-wise. I mean, so far we've had 2 matches. One of them was like 5 seconds long. And the one before that, Alexa Chelsea, you lot said was good 93. It was all right. It was all right. It was acceptable. It wasn't bad. but it had a nice pace to it. But I don't think it got the pulses racing. I mean, part of the problem is, once again, tag teams in a singles match doesn't mean anything, does it? If Chelsea won, fine. If Alexa won, fine. That is part of the issue, really. So that's all we've had so far from a wrestling point of view. So really hoping that we get something here from the Street Profits. So Street Profits against Melo Don't Miz. I think there's a good opportunity for this match to deliver. And then, of course, we've got a championship match coming up in our main event as well. So hopefully that delivers. So definitely looking for some good in-ring work from hour 2. Long Legs said, word has been going around Raw is moving back to USA. Is that true? No. I don't even know where that's come from, but there's a lot of nonsense doing the rounds. James said, Daze, did you see that Anthony is going to join Real Betis on a 50-50 ownership? No, I've not. I heard that things were looking 50-50 ownership. What does that mean? It means more money coming in. Let me have a look at that deal. What is that deal? Anthony, Man United. I saw that Garnacho was pretty much done. I've not seen the Here We Go on that, but what is the Anthony story? Daily Mail is saying that Ten Hag tried to stop the Anthony transfer. Oh no, now we've got Nick Aldis. Oh my God. Here's Randy. Are they going to announce the match for Clash? Oh God. He gives him a fireball. Here's R-Truth. Jesus Christ. Are you going to drink this after the day I've had? Yes, I am. Right, Street Profits come to... Wow, that was something, said Miss Clown. Talk about being money hungry, said Joel. Who do you think will win the Premier League, says Joel? I'm hoping it's Arsenal, to be honest. I'm hoping it's Arsenal because I, obviously, as being a Man United fan, don't want Man City. And even bigger rivals than Man City are Liverpool. So those two teams battling it out to see who's goes like the nightmare scenario. You could literally pick any other teams than Man City and Liverpool, and it wouldn't bother me as much. So I don't care if it's Chelsea, I don't care if it's Arsenal, I don't care if it's flipping Tottenham, I don't care if it's Newcastle. I think pretty much anyone else. Anyone else. You could say maybe with the exception of Leeds, but who even gives a flip about Leeds? But like Liverpool, Man City, Man United's two great rivals. And it's them. It's always them that are fighting for the titles these days. So I'm definitely hoping it's either Arsenal or Chelsea. I'll take either of those. Don't forget to buy your Fireball whiskey, kids. I know. Right, Melo Don't Miz in the ring. Bella sounded, and we're really looking for something good here. The crowd chanting, "This is awesome," or "Miz is awesome," or... I think they're chanting, "Miz is awesome." Okay, Street Profits ducking underneath as Miz goes against the ropes. Leapfrog. Yeah, where's James gone? James, crazy. I've never heard anything like that before. I don't even know what it is. What is this thing? What is this? What's happening? Where do I find information of it? Anthony. Where did you read it, James? Is there an article doing the rounds? Right now we've got Dawkins against the ropes. Shoulder charge. Down go the Melo don't miss. Who gives a flip about Leeds, said Miss Clown. Someone out there does. Oh, we got Sui. Right now we got through the ropes. That's even if it's true. I just saw it earlier. I'm just trying to find it again. Okay. Well, don't go out your way, buds. If you see it, ping it over. If not, don't worry about it. I mean, if it'll be everywhere, won't it? If it is gonna go that way. I can't see anything on it at the moment, but I don't know. The life and times of Anthony are so random that I could believe anything. Yeah, but I did see about the Garnacho news about him leaving United. Clash is probably the worst looking card this year, says Robbie. I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm trying to think what I don't mind, actually. I'm a bit more into Cena Logan since Cena cooked him twice. I'm a little bit more into seeing what they do with that match. Are they going to give Logan plenty of opportunity to impress? I mean, I'd imagine they will. So I'm a bit more into that, but still, I can think of at least 50 other people I'd rather see go up against Cena. The Fatal 4-Way match, yeah, I agree. It feels like Seth retains and just feels like a way of getting people on the card. Sheamus Rusev, I've not really been into that feud personally, but I think a Donnybrook should bring out the best in them. Roman Bronson is the match I'm most excited for. And, Wikipedia is saying Wyatt Six against Melo Don't Miz or Street Profits is going to get added. Is that true? Have they said the winner of this fight's at Clash in Paris? Wikipedia right now has got it listed as a sixth match, Wyatt Six against Melo Don't Miz or Street Profits. I know the winner of this does face Wyatt Six, but I didn't realise that was in Paris. I didn't realise that was Clash at Paris. Chop coming in there by Carmelo. That would be good. That'll add to the cards if the Wyatt Six are going to be wrestling on Sunday. Is Wikipedia reliable, said Tony. Well, no. You definitely have to, double check things. So that's why I'm saying, has anyone heard that? Because, no, I wouldn't say it was the most reliable. But actually, when it comes to wrestling, I think it's pretty good. Obviously, it's open source, so, anyone can really alter it. So, yeah, of course, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Hence why I'm not sat here going, oh my God, it's gospel. But, no, I think normally whenever I check cards to see what's going to happen, it's never led me astray before. So, don't know. We'll have to have a look. Kick coming in there by Carmelo. Right now, Melo Don't Miz in control. James said, permanent deal confirmed. I've sent you. Just tweeted that we have accepted a bid. Okay. Thank you, James. I'm going to have a read of that. From United Exclusive. I don't know them. How many followers? Oh, over 300,000. That's good. Real Betis have reached a verbal agreement with Man United. He will leave through shared ownership, with each club holding 50% of his rights in a deal worth over 20 million euros. 50% of his rights. What does that mean? Kick coming in there by Carmelo. Shot coming back there by Dawkins. Someone in the comments is like, what sort of nonsense is this? Does this solve a... I don't even know. I agree. I don't even know what it means. I don't even know what it means. Right now we got Dawkins trying to go over. Melo makes the tag. Big kick coming in there by Montez. Montez up top. Big crossbody. Down goes The Miz. It is crazy if it's true, but it does get him gone, and that's all that matters. That's true. It gets his wages off, doesn't it? It doesn't sound like we're getting much in for him, but I suppose everything counts. Everything goes in the Belieber Fund. I'm a believer. Right, Miz down, and the fans all joining in as Montez goes for the cover. Really great crowds. Really great crowd, making so much noise. Duck underneath. Miz goes through the ropes. Kick coming in there by Montez. Kick coming back there by The Miz. Lovely DDT by The Miz. 1, 2. No joy. Looking for the skull crushing. Goes over. Montez grabbing The Miz. Plants him. Montez going to the outside. Looking like he's going to go up top. Montez looking for a splash. Connects, but it was messy. Mark Carmelo. Kick out by Montez. Yeah, that was a bit messy, to be honest. I mean, Montez normally, when he does a splash, just looked off. That splash. It's like it's like his legs were a bit like weighty. Forearm shot coming in there by Carmelo. Chop coming back there by Montez. Clothesline against the ropes. A little bit sloppy again there by Montez. I mean, I think he went for a drop kick. Timing wise, he was just a little bit off. Miz wants the tag, and the crowd are going crazy, you know. The crowd want to see The Miz get tagged in. Oh, the Wyatt Six are here. The Wyatt Six are here. The Wyatt Six have come out. Obviously, Miz has got quite the history with these guys. Big shot coming in there by Dawkins. Miz goes down. We got Loomis. Howdy. The distraction, I think, is going to allow the Profits to get the win. And there we go. Look, the Wyatt Six not doing anything, but just watching. That now means that the Street Profits are heading quite gingerly to a title match against the Wyatt Six. And there's just this kind of air of unease the Wyatt Six have got in the ring. And it is going to be this Sunday. It is going to be in Paris. It is going to be the Wyatt Six against the Street Profits in Paris. So there we go. The match has been made. Well, that's made the card a bit better. Oh, Michael Cole said I'm going to have to change my pants after those guys were out here. And Wade Barrett said it smells like it. Ah. Why do I want to think about Michael Cole soiling himself? Okay, apparently Jade's #1 contender. Okay, so Jade just making it very clear that it's nothing but a fantasy that they are on the same level. Okay, here's the MFTs. It ain't gonna happen. Sami thinks he can come onto my show and take my title. Solo said, Sami, it's over. Okay, here we go. Sami coming out. We got 27 minutes left. Da 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 da. Bum 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 bum. Ba-da ba-da ba-dum. Okay, Sami is making his way down to the ring. The fans are singing and cheering away. Da 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 na na da na da na 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 na. Wade being savage, says James. There's going to be a Spirit Halloween in the former city I used to live in, says Sonny. Sonny, I hope you're doing well. Cooper said, this show has gone by so fast. Okay, we just got an advert for LFG. LFG. I've actually downloaded 9 episodes of season 1. I think there was 15 in total, so I've got a few more episodes that I need to grab, but once I've downloaded them, because I'm not going to... I could go through watch wrestling, but I can't be bothered. So I'm just going to watch downloaded versions of them. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Right. Sonny said, I'm doing all right. Sorry for that chaotic mess last night. Oh, no, people loved it, Sonny. People loved it. I think it provided a lot of entertainment for people. I mean, not for me, but no, people loved it. But Maggie said, so predictable. Sami is the latest one. Doofus strapped his rocket on, so it's a Sami win, said Maggie. Look how that turned out for Jay. Well, listen, Jay got to a world title. If Sami can get to a world title, I'd be thrilled. Let's go. I mean, I do agree long term in regards to really captivate. Well, I don't know, actually. I was going to say, like, if Sami did get to a world title, I don't think it would be an amazing run. But I do think that there is a way that you could make it really fun. I do, and we've said before, like, if Sami was to get there and be like, look, I did not get the opportunity I think I deserved. It took me a long time to get here. And I think that's because it's hard to get these opportunities, and I don't want to make it hard for others. And I think Sami doing an open challenge, putting on just great world heavyweight title matches on a regular basis, maybe not every week, maybe every other week, like, you know, a couple of times a month, something like that, where on Raw, he's defending the title. Just make it as fun as you possibly can. If the plan is that Sami wins the Rumble, which is what I think we're building him to, at least being a top challenger. I think they want it to be a case that when Sami comes out at the Rumble, you feel like, okay, he's got a chance. It could be Sami. Sami has got a chance. I think they want that feeling. So they're doing that work now so that it feels that way when we get to the Rumble. Whether he wins or not, I'm not sure. Whether we can get him to a world title next year, I'm not sure. But if it is the plan, please just make it as fun as possible. Please just make that run as fun as possible, because it is not going to be a creatively epic run with loads of twists and turns. We couldn't even do that for Cody Rhodes. So why the hell are we going to do that for Sami Zayn? So I think we have to just try and make it as fun as possible if that's what we're going to do. So I think there is a way of still making it work. But I do agree that I could understand people thinking there's more exciting options or people they would rather have as world champion. I agree. As a Sami stan, I am hoping that Sami gets it done. But I can understand why those would be like, yeah, no, not for me. Not for me. Tony said, like I said, only Wyatts and Street Profits as tag champs is silly. Big Time said, Daze, the finish to the tag match was disappointing. The crowd were on fire. The match was cooking. Wyatt Six came out for the distraction and the crowd just went quiet. To be honest, I mean, if you want the Street Profits to win and go forwards, and you don't want to hurt Melo, don't miss, because maybe your plan is that they will get a title opportunity a bit further down the road. How do you book that? I'm not going to say that it was booked perfectly, because you are right, it wasn't. Crowd were really into it. It was hot. They were cooking. But when it's time for the finish and it's time for Street Profits to win, because maybe Street Profits are not going to succeed, but actually Melo, don't miss, we want to give them an opportunity a bit further down the road. Is it right that you do a bit of a distraction finish? You know, Melo, don't miss, could have got it, but oh man, Miz just got distracted by the Wyatts, and like, is that why they've booked it that way? I'm not defending it. I'm just saying, is that the plan? Okay, Sami is in the ring. I think it is going to be our main event. Sami versus Solo. Championship match on the line. Are we going to get a new champione? Are we going to get a new champione? Here's Solo. Metal Mama, shout out to you. James said, has your excitement level changed for Clash? I would say I'm probably a little more excited than I was before the show. Just a little. I mean, we've added the Wyatt Six Street Profits, which I think will be a good match. So I think the SmackDown Tag Division has been a real success this year. So actually adding that to the cards has made me a little more excited. Nothing drastic, nothing crazy. I think that the past couple of weeks have made me a bit more excited for Cena Logan than I was. I mean, my absolutely I could not give a damn whatsoever has changed to, no, I'll watch that. I'll watch that. I'll watch it. And the reason is because, not because I'm, interested in necessarily watching Logan, but it's more, how are they going to book the match? They are clearly telling a story at the moment, and that story is Logan wants to face John. You wanna see where you are. I mean, I would imagine that. But I wonder if behind. I'm just going to speak without filtering myself. Right, this is going to be raw. I wonder if behind the scenes Logan is constantly going up to Triple H saying, give me this, let's do that. I mean, I'd imagine that he is a disruptor full of ideas. And I would imagine he is going up to Triple H going, listen, I can do this, I can do that, right? And I just wonder if Triple H has kind of got together with John and gone, listen, we sort of need to show this kid where he is. We've kind of built him up, and now he's believing his own hype. And I think Logan believes his own hype at the best of times anyway, right? We sort of need to show him there's levels to this, and we sort of need to show him you are actually out of your depth in this world. You don't realize how far behind you actually are. You are under the impression that you can do this because we've been helping you do this. So I wonder if they have just shown him in these past couple of weeks, this is where you are in regards to your promos, and this is where you need to be if you want to be John Cena, right? This is the gap at the moment, right? And maybe he didn't know the gap was that wide, because 2 weeks in a row, Logan has been cooked. He has been absolutely cooked. So, and he's honestly looked like he's come close to tears. I mean, he really has gone quite red in the face and a bit like he's looked uncomfortable. He's looked a bit awkward, like doesn't really know how to react to the things that are being said. Actually, as if these things are coming by surprise, to be honest with you. So I did see, who was it? Was it Brian Alvarez? It might have been Brian Alvarez and Tom Lawler. They were saying, no, I think it was Baron Corbin on Busted Open. He was like, I could believe John going out there saying that stuff without checking it with Logan first, which I thought was a real interesting comment to come from someone like Baron Corbin, who's been in WWE recently. For him to say, no, I could believe that he's gone out there and just said this stuff and Logan doesn't know that it's coming. I could believe that. And actually, for Baron Corbin, as I said, who has been in there and used on a regular basis in recent years on WWE TV, for him to be saying that, I was like, well, there must be something to that. So, yeah, there could be a chance that Logan just does not know these lines are coming. And for 2 weeks in a row, the gap between them has been exposed. For 2 weeks in a row, Logan Paul has been cooked. And so this has got me really interested into, well, how do you book the match now? What do you do with the match? Do you give Logan... I mean, you've got to give Logan some heat back. You've got to give Logan something back, surely, in the match. So I don't think Logan wins. But honestly, the build kind of suggests that he does. I mean, he has got brutalized in the promos to the point where the best response would be to have Logan win. So that Logan can go, that's basically all that stuff you said, John, about me not being good enough. How do you feel about it now? So the booking to me suggests Logan gets the win this weekend. I don't believe he does. I think they go with Cena. So I'm really interested to see how the match plays out. The build has got me more interested. And again, it's not because I want to watch Logan wrestle. I just want to see how they book it. So, yeah, I think there's quite a bit that they've done in the past couple of weeks in that story that's grabbed me. So, yeah, I would say following the past couple of SmackDowns, my interest in Clash has gone up. Not loads, but just enough whereby a lot of people are saying it's like one of the worst cards. And I can see why they're saying that. But there's enough there for me to be like, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I can get some stuff out of this. Okay, I think we're about to come back from commercial break. Melo, don't miss. Chelsea are going to sign their 53rd player in 4 years. Said, is it really that many? Right, boom, boom. When should Bayley's brand new character debut? Well, you want a little bit of space, don't you? So... obviously, let's get this out the way. We've got a little bit of time before WrestlePalooza. Not loads. I think that's on the 20th. I mean, there's just no breathing room, really. So you've just got to try and find the right landing spot. So I would say like you could probably deliver it next week. Like actually bring her out there. We've been doing these vignettes for about 3 weeks now. So I think this has been the 3rd week. So you could probably land it when we get back to America. And, you know, we've got a little bit of time to build something. If they want to cook it a bit longer, that's fine. You could cook it a bit longer. I think it's still interesting. So if we had, but the problem is the closer you get to WrestlePalooza, probably the less likely it is to debut unless she comes in at WrestlePalooza. I suppose she could actually. That's an interesting shout, isn't it? Try and make WrestlePalooza like the biggest show you possibly can, and maybe that's where you bring her in. So keep going a little bit longer, but tease that she's going to be at WrestlePalooza. You would just need the right match for her to get involved with, the right person for her to go after. It's interesting, though. I don't think it would be any later than that, though. I think it would be WrestlePalooza at the latest. Sami being thrown in the ring. Solo coming over. So lots of outside interference here. Outside interference. Solo, can't believe the fact that Sami kicked out. Now we've got someone attacking. I think, is it Big Jim? Yeah, Big Jim. Big Jim. Big Jim. Kicks coming in. Shots coming in. Is that going to bring down Big J? No, Big Jacob. Jacob's music. Now here's Tala. Oh, Jacob comes through the crowds. Through the crowds. Big shot coming in. Into the ring posts. Talatonga goes into the ring post. Super kick there to JC. Jimmy Uso and Jacob. Sami. Bomb! Blue Thunder Bomb! 2! That was real close. So, chaos on the outside of the ring. Jimmy and Jacob. Clothesline to Tala. Tala going in the crowd. Jacob going after him. So it seems like the MFTs have got enough on their plates at the moment. Here's Big Jim. Comes crashing down. That's just going to leave Sami and Solo. Sami looking for the haluva. Solo gets out the ring. Solo gets out the ring. Sami going right after him. Oh, Uranagi! Straight onto that announce table. Solo grabbing the belt, holding it up. Looks like this match is going to continue without any outside interference. Solo holding up that championship. Some lovely little moments there, though. The Blue Thunder Bomb, the haluva. Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn. Sami getting back in the ring, breaking the count. Match continuing. Crowd are going wild, said Tombstone Chris. Right now we've got Sami going over to the outsides. Is this SmackDown worth watching, said the Ribs. I think there are elements. I think the Cena Open is worth watching. I don't know that you need to have seen really anything after that, but if you like the Wyatts, there's been a couple of Wyatt bits. Not loads, but a couple of bits. Bit more than we usually get. And now this main event is obviously quite interesting. We're up to 7. I can't imagine Sami has got to break the count, and he does. He just gets in there. Solo thought he won by count out, but it was literally on the count of 10. Right now, we've got Solo coming over as Sami is down on his knees. Wrestler Andy said, if we could make the WWE schedule anything you wanted, days, time, shows, I would change all the pay-per-views to Sundays. Yeah, I would like that. The only thing is that there's a lot of people that prefer it on Saturdays. I don't mind pay-per-views being on Saturdays. I'd move the UFC to Sunday. I would just like regular UFC, WWE to not clash. But for it to be regular, I really don't like the fact that I can only catch the odd occasional like UFC show. So, yeah, I wish that they were on different days. But really, outside of that, I don't think there's too much I would change, to be honest. I like the kind of 2.5 hour run schedule. I don't mind the fact that we do it on a Friday for SmackDown and a Monday for Raw. It kind of gives you sort of around the weekend. Power bomb by Sami. Shoulder up. Shoulder up by Solo. Shoulder up by Solo. I gotta be honest, I would be tempted to introduce a third brand. I think the roster's big enough and there's enough talent. I don't know what I would do with that third brand, how I would make it different. I would probably want something to make it different. I'm not saying all women, but that could be fun. But I think it would need some sort of difference to it. I know people will say like NXT's a third brand. I hear that, but it is more developmental. I mean, proper third main roster brand. Perhaps a women's show it would be the right way forwards. Big splash. 1, 2. Shoulder up there by Sami. Shoulder up by Sami. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine a show on a Monday, a show on a Wednesday, a show on a Friday. Well, I mean, there is a thought that they might be using TNA in that sort of to go up against AEW. Perhaps if you buy TNA and sort of use that as a third brand. Roll up. 1, 2. Sami. No joy. Right now we got Solo coming over looking for the Exploder suplex. Looking for the Exploder and he gets it. Solo in the corner. Right now we've got Sami over the other side looking for the haluva but runs into a super kick. Duck underneath. Against the ropes. Charges in with a big boot. The haluva connects. Sami going back. He's having to dig deep here to get past Solo, you know. That haluva connected. Sami with another haluva. Solo goes down. 2 haluvas. Sami does it. Sami wins. Sami is the new United States champion. Wow, I'm so pleased for him. Sami Zayn getting a run with the United States Championship after getting past Solo Sikoa clean. Outside interference took the MFTs away, but Sami Zayn has done it. And he's done it in France, in front of this red hot crowd, and there he is. There we go. Look at that. Oh, mate, so good. And that's the one that wrapped it up. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn. He's done it. He's done it, guys, and I'm crying. I'm literally crying. You can't see me right now, but I am crying. So good. I'm not sure that he massively needs this run, but he is going to benefit from it. It's not going to hurt him. And actually, the MFTs are rumoured to be moving on to a feud with the Wyatts. So I wonder if they thought, let's get the belt off Solo so that we can get the feud with the Wyatts kind of underway. Because that is rumoured to be on the horizon, and perhaps they just felt like the belt was not needed. Wow. Right, let's go. I didn't think that would happen, says James. Nice surprise. Dun, 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 dun. Rise up, Sami stands. Rise up. The stock has risen. The stock has risen. The good times have just returned. Did the title change show that they didn't see it on Solo? I think the title on Solo was maybe more to do with the Jacob feuds. And now that Solo's going into a feud with the Wyatts, and the MFT's going into the Wyatts, I wonder if it's just a case of don't need it. Right now, the most important thing in the mid-card is to build Sami just ahead of the Rumble. And I wonder if that's, the chat. It might not be any deeper than that. It might not be, we don't believe in Solo. It's not working. It might not be that. It might be that it was just Solo was the right person when he was feuding with Jacob, but now he's going to feud with the MFTs. He doesn't need it. Sami, we're really trying to build him up and make him seem credible as we head to the Rumble. So giving him a good run with some great matches with the United States Championship for a few months. I mean, I don't know that he goes into the Rumble as the United States champ. He could do. Maybe he loses it before then, but I think just getting him regular TV time with great matches, moments like that where the crowd are electric and they're right behind him, like these are the kind of moments you want and need if you are kind of investing in like building up Sami. So I must admit, surprising. I wasn't expecting it. I'm certainly not against it, but yeah. Well, I tell you what, that won't be a chore to watch again later. I got to watch this show again. I'm quite looking forward to John Cena cooking Logan again, and Sami winning. This has been all right, this show, Logan got cooked. Sami won the flipping United States title. We got a bit more Wyatt Six goodness. Let's flipping go. Jay won the IC belt and then lost it and won the Rumble and then won the World Championship, said Joel. Perhaps it's a sign. Maggie said, I'd rather see Solo get some wins than Sami. Sami's been in WWE how long and has had many chances? Well, I would disagree with the many chances. I actually think he's not had that many chances. I mean, he's been in WWE and on the main roster for about 10 years. But, I mean, if you look at the world title opportunities he had from, say, 2015 going through to just after the pandemic, I mean, he was doing the Great Liberator stuff. And, do you know, I was actually putting together a quiz for the members, and it involved me kind of going back through old PLEs. I had completely forgotten about the Artist Collective. Do you remember the Artist Collective? Completely, that had slipped my mind. This is what we've been doing with Sami. Absolute nonsense, like kind of mid-card rubbish. Do you remember when he was talking about conspiracies and he had a whole documentary that was going to come out and all of that? Like, he was nowhere near the top end of the cards. So I have to disagree with, like, all these opportunities. I mean, he had an opportunity against Roman, which was obviously amazing in Montreal Elimination Chamber. But honestly, I think, you know, it was Cody that was going to get the belt from Roman. So Sami pushed it close, but no joy. And then I think he did get a title shot against Gunther. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things over the past 10 years, not that many opportunities at world titles. So I think the hottest he was ever is obviously when he was in the Bloodline, and then when he broke out the Bloodline and that Elimination Chamber match with Roman. That was the hottest he ever was. We had a glimpse that we could get him. We had a glimpse of what him being a world champion could look like with that. And I think the thing is, you've just got to give him the right sort of momentum, the right sort of push. I think they're looking to do that again. So I would say that since that moment, Elimination Chamber, they've not really given him that sort of push. He main evented WrestleMania that year, but it was for the tag titles. And really outside of that, you know, he beat Gunther for the IC title. But I mean, I think we're trying to build him up for a world title. So I think this is just kind of part of that journey, to be honest. Congratulations to Cody and Brandy on the birth of their second child. Yes. That was a surprise, wasn't it? Mr. Dale Jr. said, what would we rate the show out of 10? I think this was actually really enjoyable. I was not expecting a title change. I was not expecting John to cook Logan like he did. Again, I thought they might have done that once, but then, you know, we're back to business now. You know, we just kind of showed there's levels to this game last week, but now we're back to normal. No, we cooked him again. So, I mean, there's even for those, the start and the end. I think the matches in the middle, a little bit underwhelming. Alexa, Chelsea, good 93. Street Profits against Melo, Don't Miss, good 95. We'll see what you lot scored, Solo Sami. At the moment, it looks like that's going to get a great rating. But, yeah, I think this is not a show that you could lose your mind over. But I think this is a show that definitely does have some real upsides to it. And considering it's a go-home show as well, I'll take this. I think this is way better than the average SmackDown this year. Way better. So if I've got to watch this show again later, which I do, that is going to be no problem. Right. It is a great rating. 18 and 6. So you lot scored that great 70. Wow, that's quite high, actually. Great 74. Great 74. Probably massively helped by the title change, of course. Mohammed said, Daze, hello. No update on Brock for Cena. Wait in till the end. I hope Cena wins. Brock comes out after the match. No Logan win, please. Benny said, this show would have been a 6, but that 5-star match with Michin now makes it 7.5. At least somewhat noteworthy happened, said Brian. Sami will win the Rumble in Saudi, but I don't see him in a main event for the world title. I think it'll be Cody Punk. Yeah, it could be one of those where it opens night 2. It could be something like that. I don't know that he main events night 1. I don't know. I mean, Seth is champion. I don't know. We'll have to see where we are come January. I mean, we're still a good distance away, aren't we? I mean, Sami against Seth would be a banger, but I don't know that that's what we're going to book. But it could be. Maybe we do Sami against Seth at WrestleMania. I mean, that would stand a chance of closing night 1, to be honest, with Seth and the amount we've invested in Seth. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I agree. Depending on who the champion is, it feels like it probably wouldn't. It's certainly not closing night 2. Absolutely 100%. But does it close night one? I don't think they make those calls till we get closer to the actual show, because it's not until you get closer to the actual show that you know kind of how the crowd have reacted to it. I mean, it might be that the crowd are going crazy for that story and they're just loving it and the reactions are huge. That might convince them this is the match we have to go with. But equally, I think the women stand a chance of main event in next year. I mean, I think the women have done brilliant work. I mean, look at how amazing Io... I mean, honestly, right now, if Io against Rhea in a singles match main evented night one of WrestleMania next year, you'd go, that's deserved. If you look at how amazing the triple threat was at WrestleMania this year, and even more than that, look at how amazing their match at Evolution was, and then look at their triple threat at SummerSlam, which was very good, not the same level as the previous two matches, but it was still very good. I think you can see there is chemistry and magic with Rhea and Io. So I would have no issue with that main event in night one. It probably needs to be for a championship, of course, and you'd need a good build. But yeah, if the crowd were into it, I'd have no problem with that main event in night one. Maybe Rhea is champion, Io wins the Rumble, and then off we go. But we won't know until we get to next year, like, which story is the hottest. Big Time said, I think that WWE could pull off a third brand. I'd love it if they did have 3 different writers occupying Raw, SmackDown, and a third brand. If you look at how good we're eating with NXT, when you have your own writers. I agree. I think a third brand is possible. I know that you can have too much wrestling, but, you know, as someone that does this for a living and, you know, I stream on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday. I mean, I do Evolve on a Wednesday. It wouldn't bother me if that turned into a 2-hour main roster show instead of a 1-hour show that's below the NXT level. You know, we do a stream on a Wednesday where we're watching the talent that haven't quite made it to, and I love it as well. So I wouldn't want to get rid of Evolve, but yeah, for me, I would be able to accommodate another third brand and NXT as a 4th show. I don't know what you would do or how you would like make it feel different, but I think you could fit it in, and I think it'd be really good if each show had a champion of, you know, the Raw champion, the SmackDown champion, the, I don't know, Nitro champion, whatever that third show would be, right? And then you just have the one world champion. So, you know, if you are the champion of a brand, that's a big deal. Everyone's fighting to be the guy. It's basically you are the number one contender for your brand. And then the world champion faces, you know, one of the brand champions. That's where they get their next challengers from. So that sort of John Cena, that sort of Cody Rhodes, that sort of Roman Reigns is looking at each brand and their champions and, you know, trying to figure out which one of these is my next move. And occasionally, you know, you might get someone else that sort of jumps that queue, whatever. I mean, you don't want to be too strict. You don't want to tie yourself too tightly. But by and large, I could see something like that working. Rather than the setup we've got now, which is both shows just have world champions. I think you could probably tweak it a little bit. But I don't know. That's a whole separate conversation for the future, isn't it? Okay, on that note, I'm going to run away. I need to get the talking points video done. I like to get that sorted so I don't need to worry about it later. So I'm going to go and do that now. Thank you for joining us. We will be back at our usual time. So we'll be back in an hour and 50 minutes. We'll be back at our usual time as we do our usual. This was just a bonus. This was just the come and join an early SmackDown stream and watch Daze wake up. But we'll be back with our normal stream later. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you in a bit. Bye for now.